GRG Podcast, the place for all your gaming news, plus hot topics of the week. Also remember to follow us on Twitter at KMEGA4.
What's happening, everybody? The GRG podcast is live. What's happening, everyone? Man, sorry for being a little late, man. Had some guys had some circumstances, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Rain, Still Rain. He let me know about it earlier in the week about his situation going on with him. So yeah, wish him and everything going on with him and his family well. For sure. And like, man, do take all the time that you need. We're doing take care of that. Our boy Six Slayer, he hit me up. He let me know that he had a serious situation going on. A tree fell on his house, so so he got to get that taken care of. So he doesn't have the power, and so we're going to be a little bit light tonight, but do not fear, ladies and gentlemen, because we do have a guest. He said he had to step away. Hopefully he's came back. If he's not, then that's fine. But we do have our guest. Finally, we've been playing musical chairs for at least a month now, but finally we got it going. And man, it's a pleasure for sure to have Chris Grindle come on to the podcast, man. It's awesome. I just wanted to know if you're there. Are you back yet?
I am back here. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. What time is it out there?
Yeah, 2:14 a.m. at the minute, so it's a late one. But obviously, we've, as you said, we've had a little back and forth trying to sort this out. I think some work and some life things got in the way on my side, so apologies for that. But yeah, absolutely looking forward to being part of this show. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to chatting about some games with you guys.
Yes, no doubt about it. Yeah, no doubt. But welcome.
Thanks very much.
And so for anybody out there that doesn't know anything about you, why don't you just give a rough draft really quick about what you do, talk about the podcast that you're on, the other things that you have also that you're the founder of, all of that. Let everybody know a little bit about you.
Yeah, thanks, man. So yeah, background wise, I worked for Sony Computer Entertainment Europe for about 14 or 15 years. So a good 10 plus years ago. Still know a lot of people in the industry. I was working on likes of Killzone 2, Formula 1, Wipeout. So some big titles for Sony and PlayStation. And then I kind of started my own little project at the moment. So I started a tech company in 2013, and we basically built a platform that kind of supplies, websites, apps, and stuff to sports clubs. So a little bit of a divergence, but that's kind of the current project. And then I think once I finish with that project, I'm probably looking to get back in games. So nice. I am working on a concept at the moment. So it's not, I haven't kind of stepped away completely. And yeah, on a Wednesday in the UK, I'm on Midweek Mix-Up podcast with Wandering Dutch and the rest of the guys over there. So we obviously just have a catch-up on the week's gaming news and what we've been playing, etc. So yeah, that's me in a very brief nutshell, but I'm sure we'll chat more as we go through the show.
Yeah, we'll get to know you a lot more here, man. But yeah, no doubt, man. Shout out to you so much, man. It is so crazy because when I would like to have so many other people come onto the show, but it's always the time frame that hurts. The last time that we had somebody that was overseas was the Welsh gamer, and he's from Welsh, and it was about that same time for him as well. And yeah. I was just like, man, but he was having a blast, man. So yeah, kudos. Thank you so much for coming. It is an honor to have you on for sure, man. Just to hop on and join us at this time, at that type of hour is just, yeah, that's God's here, man. I really do appreciate it.
No, it's really appreciated. And as I say, I appreciate you asking. And we got there after a couple of
but no, it is what it is, man. Like I said, timing. Things work for a reason, and it's perfect timing right now. So, without further ado, let's get to the rest of the panel. What's happening with you, PK? What's going on, man?
What's happening? The most electrifying man in all entertainment right here. And I'm here with my brothers and my sister of GRG, and we ready to get in these topics. Let's see what we got. I don't even know. I didn't even look, but I'm ready to get it in. I don't even know what we're talking about, but we're going to talk. I don't even know.
We're going to talk, that's for sure. That is what's going on. And then we was having a little discussion, and then we'll try to run through it really quick because I know that because you was really passionate to talk about it before we get into the topics, but I don't want to go too long about it. But I mean, listen, we're light tonight, so I think tonight's going to be pretty smooth. I think we're just going to kind of coast tonight. So we'll definitely talk about that. But without further ado, let's get to the lady member of GRG, and that is D. What's happening with you? What's been going on? I hear you was over there playing some games. What was you playing?
I was trying to play the Black Flag Freedom Cry, but I didn't realize that I had downloaded the season pass because it was like $2, but I did not install Freedom Cry itself. So I was trying to find in the middle of the ocean where to start it, but it had downloaded. So I was starting that. I'm trying to get these achievements for this week's rewards and Game Pass quests. So I only got like 2 or 3 days left. I'm kind of at the midnight hour with it. But besides that, I'm glad it's the weekend. It's finally Friday. Get some gaming in, chilling, some naps. I'm just ready to get the podcast started, to have some adult discussions,
Yeah, have some fun.
Glad to be here.
Yes, no doubt.
Yes, sir.
All right, so basically, okay, so PK, you was having this discussion with me really fast, talking about Smash Brothers and that one of the last things that they might do. I thought Kazuya was their last character that was made. I thought I read that somewhere, but you're saying that they're going to bring somebody else. And so what was it that you were saying that you conflicted about is what the gaming community is talking about? Kind of give us an explanation.
Yeah, so typically it's always the predictions. Who is going to take this final slot?
Mm-hmm.
And some of the predictions seem really off, and that was kind of my dilemma. Is like, where we go from here? Especially after Kazuya. Kazuya is huge, and how do you follow that, right? And because at the end of the day, this is still DLC, and they gotta sell it. So in my mind, it has to be somebody big. A lot of people feel like it's going to be a first party character. I'm not saying that wouldn't happen, but I generally don't agree with that. They already had 2 first party characters in this Smash Pass, and it's kind of like, what first party character will sell? I mean, they might not care, but I think they do, and especially since this might be Sakurai's final Smash game ever. He's tired. So he's done a great job bringing these characters alive, keeping the essence of the characters alive, and somehow making them work in this game. And the fighting game community, the FGC, is looking forward to what is the last iteration. What do we got here? How can you go bigger than Kazuya? So, I had my thoughts, but I just wanted to hear what everybody else thoughts. And you don't even have to play the game, but it's more or less a strategy. What can you send this game out with? A bang. And for you guys to know, in my opinion, it looks like the last character won't be released until the new to the Switch OLED drops, which is in October or November, which to me fits a narrative with another large game dropping around that time.
Okay. All right, Chris, you have anything on that? Have you played Smash Brothers? I mean, are you even a fighting fan?
No, I'm not. Sadly, so
I mean, everybody was really quiet, so I mean, so I was just like, but y'all just want to, So, all right, do you have any thoughts on this at all? You don't have to.
Not really. I mean, as I say, I'm not really kind of a fighting fan, so it's not a genre that I normally play. Obviously, I know and appreciate how big the franchise is, but yeah, I mean, those guys could scoop anyone up from any genre, etc., or any brand and stuff like that. I get it in, but it's not my type of game, so I am so far removed from this part of the conversation.
So, all right, what about you, D? Are you removed from the conversation as well?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I don't like speaking on things I don't know well. So
No, D, you gotta say this. 108.
Oh,
you gotta be like,
oh.
Watch somebody stream it. Facts. Let's go.
Oh man, he's here.
Brooklyn is in the building. Welcome, guests. Let's go. The energy is here.
Where is he
we
at?
here to turn up. I only got like 12 minutes because I'm doing a big party in my club. But he's still here. Love my team. Let's go.
Oh man, you can't do 12 minutes and then just come yelling and going.
Yo, listen, that is
and then just bail out.
10 and a half minutes longer than my sex life. I can do it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, at least you're honest about it. I mean, that's all right. But okay, so all right. So PK asked this question. This is not part of what we were supposed to discuss, but PK is passionate about it, and I don't want him to feel like we're giving him Nintendo slander because he's a Nintendo fan. So
wait, hold up.
What?
Y'all not jumping out there spending that extra $50 for the
We're going to talk about that, but I want to get this out the way. So, do you feel that Okay, I'm just going to give my 2 cents on it really quick. It's basically saying that if this is going to be the last character, which I thought, like I said, Kazuya was, if they got to go out with a bang. Either bring in and it's really odd because we was discussing this, that there isn't a PlayStation, powerhouse character like Kratos or Aloy or any
Aloy.
Yeah, Aloy. Yeah, Aloy.
You talking about the game that they brought out for $65 and in 3 months dropped it to $1? Oh,
no, I'm talking about Horizon Zero Dawn. What
How about Horizon Zero?
I'm talking about Horizon.
Yeah, that's Aloy.
Oh,
That's the same game I'm talking about.
oh.
Facts. Shots fired.
Okay. All right. So basically, but yeah, PlayStation. So I'm saying for me, like you have to go out of your lane and do just like what you did with Kazuya and pick a character like Master Chief or Kratos or somebody like that to do the proper swan song. And it doesn't have to be within like from Sony or Xbox. But a big known character from somewhere, okay, like let's just think like somebody like one of the characters from Assassin's Creed, the most interesting character or the most popular character from Assassin's Creed. I think that might work. Something like that. I don't know. What you got? Anything you want to add to this, Lemon?
If it ain't the King,
Oh boy, I know what you're talking about.
117.
Mm-hmm.
If it ain't Master Chief,
Mm-hmm.
it don't matter. They got all the other ones. They got Solid Snake. They got Sonic. They got Pac-Man.
Yeah.
They got Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You're missing the most iconic player from any franchise. And it wouldn't be Kratos. Because as much as I'm a Kratos fan, he's not on that Master Chief level.
Okay.
And we need that. You're listening to GRG Podcast.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm the voice of the Spartan 117.
Oh my
Let's
goodness.
talk about it.
All right, so does that help you out, PK? Like, I mean, pretty much. What character are you looking for so we can move on to the topic?
So, in my mind, it wouldn't make sense to have character. A lot of people predict, like Crash Bandicoot or Rayman or something, and even though Nintendo has a good relationship with Ubisoft, I just don't see that happening as the last character because they still got to sell this thing, and it has to make sense. So in my mind, it has to be large. And since they're dropping this OLED in October, that's around the time that this new character is going to drop. And I think it would make sense if it was Master Chief because of this 20th anniversary with Halo Infinite dropping this year, et cetera, et cetera. It just makes sense. And with that being one of the largest releases, right? I think they know that will push sales towards their Switch even more. People would definitely buy this OLED without thinking if it was someone that large, just for that one game and one character alone.
Can I say something to add to that?
Uh-huh.
The biggest character in Fortnite purchased. It wasn't Wolverine. It wasn't the Predator. In Fortnite, right?
Uh-huh.
The biggest character purchase.
Mm-hmm.
They got John Wick. They got all these Marvel characters. The Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, all these characters, right? You know who the biggest character was purchased?
Laura Croft? I don't know. Who?
Master Chief.
Okay.
Even though they got Kratos, because I got both of them. I got most of the people I mentioned, I have all of them. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is the most purchased character was the Chief. That's a fact. So we need that energy. Smash Brothers need a Spartan in there kicking flames.
Oh, well, they need a Spartan and they need my boy Locke.
No.
That would be right
He's
there.
I
got it. Okay, anyway. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. I do agree that it needs to be Chief or someone on that level.
There's nobody on his level.
Well, no, there's other big known
okay.
characters.
So name somebody bigger than him that's not already in Smash.
I don't know.
Name somebody bigger than Master Chief.
There's other okay.
Not already in Smash.
Okay, I was supposed to get the Castlevania guy, but he's already in there.
Yeah, right.
That's a Konami rep.
Yep, that's
they got
Simon
Ryu.
Belmont.
They got Ryu. They got Terry Bogard.
They got Pac-Man.
Of course.
They're not gonna
even
do
got
any
Minecraft
more
Boy or whatever he called. I don't even know what he's called.
Man.
But they're not doing
Kid
no more
Icarus.
fighters.
Okay.
No more sword characters.
Right. So I'm saying
I mean Master Chief. Yeah.
Right. That's what
it.
I'm
Yeah. I agree.
There's no character bigger than him.
Master Chief makes perfect sense.
Right.
So hopefully that for all the times that we've seen Phil, and now I think we've seen video with Sarah Bond, and she has a Switch behind her. So maybe that could be leading up to something to where Master Chief could be announced to be the last character for Smash Brothers, which that would be really dope. That would be real dope. I mean,
I want to point one other thing out too. That earlier this year, Walmart of Canada was wishing Master Chief a happy birthday, and they said we got a prize for you, and they were tweeting directly to Halo, saying we got a prize for you, and the picture was a picture of the Smash invite.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yo, listen, you got to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for Splinter Cell at the next E3.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's get to some topics, right? Okay, because I had a topic that I wanted to talk about, but I you know what I'm saying, but I'm gonna wait till the end of the show to see if we're doing good with time. Because my man, I don't know if you heard Lemon, our boy Chris, he's out there in the UK. Shout out to him out there, man. He's burning the midnight oil. I should say the 2 a.m. oil out there. So we got to make this man get out here and keep him awake.
Yeah.
All right, so since we was talking about Nintendo, we might as well just jump right into it and talk about Nintendo's Switch OLED, which, I mean, let's go ahead and talk about it. So as you know, I guess, Chris, do you think that this is the Nintendo OLED is worth the $350 just for everything that we know about it right now?
I think, well, not for me. So I have a Switch Lite. So that sounded quite abrupt, but I've got a Switch Lite at the minute, and I think I'm waiting for something a little a little bit more powerful. So obviously, there was a load of rumors about Switch Pro and stuff like that, and that's obviously been kind of debunked by this OLED model. I do kind of have the Switch for the handheld, gaming experience, like on the move and stuff. If I'm sat at home, then it's a Series X or a PC or something like that. So, so for me, it's not something I'm gonna spend $350 on, or wherever it's sitting, 359 or something like that. One of the things I did think though is whether it's nothing new in Nintendo's kind of history. They released something like 9 or more different variants of the DS and whatnot. So it's not kind of uncommon for them to kind of recycle consoles and release different SKUs. But I wonder whether they've kind of done a halfway house and released an updated version of the Switch, because obviously the OG Switch is getting on a bit. But also we've got this, these chip shortages and so on and so forth. So I just wonder whether they've been hampered slightly, because that thing will sell. It'll sell like hotcakes. Every Nintendo console does. And I just wonder whether they would put themselves in a really interesting or, seriously bad predicament if they try to release something like a Pro or, a more advanced version of the Switch, whatever that may look like. So they've obviously, I think, screens and stuff like that are not really facing any kind of shortages. I think people are still releasing monitors and TVs and stuff. So I think that side of things fine. Sticking an Ethernet port on it, so you're not relying on Wi-Fi alone and stuff is a good idea for the docking station and stuff. But I just wonder whether the hand's been forced slightly with the pandemic and the chip shortages and stuff, and maybe that kind of Switch Pro that Jeff Grubb and other people were kind of talking about has been delayed due to shortages rather than not the kind of will not to release it. I just think if we're seeing the shortages with PlayStation 5, we're seeing it with Series X in particular. Obviously, Series S is a bit more available. I think that would really kind of hurt Nintendo's launch, but that's just my take on it from a kind of business tech perspective in terms of them not being able to kind of build a new more advanced version of the Switch. So they've gone with this kind of halfway house, stick an OLED, nicer screen. But yeah, it's not something I'm going to necessarily be purchasing, that's for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, before you go, I mean, finish what you say, but let me go next. I gotta go. I'm hitting. They're blowing up my phone, but I want to get my point on this, and then I'm gonna be out.
All right, well, go ahead
and then I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, finish. I want you to say your thing, but I just
no. It was going to be something that was going to be a general question to everybody anyway. So,
okay, all right.
Yeah, so go ahead and say what you.
All right, let me say this for the record. This is not a Switch OLED. This is a Switch XL. Let's just be real here. It's supposed to be a battery saver, and it seems to not be a battery saver because OLED uses less power. This is what Nintendo does. This system is not for people who play their systems docked like me and KMEGA. We play our systems on our TVs. If you want a better 720p experience on the go and you're a new adapter, then you need to buy the newer Switch. But technically, with all the bells and whistles, with the better stand, with the Ethernet adapter, which they should have had in the beginning, like I showed on my channel, they had the $15 adapter, which is really not for the Switch. It's a USB 3.0 to Ethernet cable adapter for $15. I work on PCs and everything else. It just works on the Switch. This is not an Switch OLED. It's a Switch XL. And we've known them to have that track record of making an XL. Honestly, from 6.1 inches to 7 inches, it's not even an inch upgrade.
No, it's not.
It's not. So, listen, man, if you're a new adapter, you buy the better Switch. If you're a current owner of the Switch, keep your goddamn Switch. Keep it. You know what I'm saying? It makes no... This is a portable situation. If you can get better colors at 720p on an OLED, good luck to you. Because it's still 720p. So
it seems like it'll just be better for you for a darker room because it's going to be bigger. Yeah,
because OLEDs look like crap
in the light.
In bright situations because they don't do brightness well. Thank you, KMEGA. But I'm done. Yo, listen, man. Follow, subscribe. This is my team. I got y'all till y'all be here. Had an emergency party, so I'm here. But
emergency party.
Yeah, no.
An emergency party. That's the first time I heard that.
No, you know what it is, D? I rent a spot out, right? Look. I rent my spot out, right? And black people, we always late. So somebody rented my party Monday and said, Friday, we good? I said, we good. There ain't no party. We gonna go. We going. I said, oh my God. we 10-month babies. So, I just put it in GRG, a little walkthrough. Yobi was like, oh, snap, you are doing a party tonight. Yeah. So I'm going downstairs. Shout out to everybody who's in the chat, man. We got 33 people watching. We got 15 likes. We need some more likes and some more shares. You can share it to somebody that's 7 years old, long as they involved. Let's get it.
I see 45 right now, so yeah. But that's
maybe
come correct.
No. I'm looking on my end. I'm looking at my YouTube. I don't know. But anyway, get them likes up. GRG. Dragons Den the Mall, Runaway Dragons TV, and friends.
You know how it is. It got to warm up first, and then by the time that everybody's exhausted, people start coming in droves. All right.
Yo, good night, people.
All right, man, have a good night,
nice
man.
to meet you. Guest. Yo, D.
Chris.
Got mad love for you.
Just say Chris.
All right, Chris, because he kept saying,
nice to meet you, man. Take care.
Yo, be safe. Yo, don't let the bed bugs bite. I know it's late as hell in UK. Don't worry about it. We got you. Gotta go, y'all. Love y'all. I'll let y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.
That was the quickest a 108 plug I've ever had to listen to in my life ever. So anyway, 108 Dragons, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It is what it is. All right, so D, what do you think about this whole situation with the Nintendo Switch OLED? Is it worth the price? Is it? I mean, at this point, like I've seen a lot of people complain about it, but I've also seen people support it and say that, hey, look, it doesn't have to be all about 4K. It doesn't have to be all about 60 frames per second. Things are fine. Just playing games at 720p, 30 frames per second. If you think I'm lying, I believe I posted that on Twitter just the other day, and you can go see it on my Twitter page, man. It was bananas when I seen that. But what do you think personally? Is it something that you would invest $350 for?
The short version is no. Only because I don't want to sound like a terrible gamer or anything, but my handhelds get the least amount of attention. And that's saying a lot because as much as I am not in my house, you would think that I would play the handhelds more, but I don't. I don't touch my Switch very often, and paying $350, I didn't want to get the new Switch, the one that's between the original and the now OLED. Because the battery life honestly is trash. By the time I play it for maybe an hour, it's crying that I want to plug it in. So for me, everything is fine for now. It looks like, and I could definitely be wrong, that anything on Switch going forward is, gonna work with my Switch. In other words, it's not like, oh, you don't have the newest and latest, therefore you can't play these games. So I don't buy games for my Switch anyway. So as somebody who's kind of a casual Nintendo player, me personally, I'm not plunking down $350. And I know some people are just like, well, that means you don't have it. It's not a matter of not having it. I can easily, trade something in, work something out, so I'm not even going to pay full price. But it's just the ideology that, the Switch came out, it has a bigger screen, all that good stuff. But to be honest, the only thing about what I saw of the new Switch was, I could be wrong, I think the docking station, the insignia of Switch lights up. That was kind of hot.
And
the black
I didn't notice
and
that. That's
white,
cool. Yeah.
It lights up. So that was cute. And I like the black and the white. It looks like an Oreo. It's kind of cute.
She said an Oreo.
But it does look like an Oreo.
That's fine. That's fine. That's great to get a woman's perspective of it. I didn't look at it that way, but that's what that's
Oreo to me. Like, it looks cute.
Like the inverted Oreo, so it's like the cream on the outside of it.
Yeah. Chris gets me. You know the vibes. The white part is the cream, and then the actual tablet part.
Oh man, I think you might be hungry. You might be craving some sweets right now.
I don't even like Oreos. I just like the color is tough. Like I just like contrast. But then they were like, "Yeah, we gonna sell the Joy-Con separately." So I'm like, "Oh, if I want to have my cookie and cream, I can just buy the Joy-Con separately." So it's not something I'm willing to invest in. I'm already slightly tight because I can't get Nintendo games at a deep enough discount. I'm all about the discount. So it doesn't get a lot of play for me. Like Lemon said, I feel like this is one of those things where if you don't already have one, this is a great time to come in. I'm not sure what the status is with the original Switches, because I know 2019, when I was at GameStop, you couldn't find a Switch anywhere. Like, some things were plumb sold out. So
it's like that now. I was seeing people ask,
like
when people were going crazy asking for the Series X and the PlayStation 5, there was people that was in there that was asking for Switches, and then there was the people like us who was looking for the Series X and the PlayStation 5 was looking at each other like, what? The Switch?
Yeah.
That's sold out too? Like, it's crazy.
It's been sold out at this point. That was 2019. That was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. So I feel like that kind of sucks because if you want to switch now, it's like you can't find the original one. Y'all better pre-order if you want it, because y'all know good and well as soon as them shits are going to be pre-order available, it's going to be gone. So, I mean, I don't know. You can't tell how people do with their money. I just thought it was funny, to be honest, how I don't know about y'all side, because my Twitter is tailored to what I interact with the most, I guess. But the Vita was trending, and I thought that was the funniest shit ever, that the Vita was trending. Because first it was the cartridge, and I was like, okay, Nintendo, that looks awfully familiar. Now it's the OLED. Everybody's just going absolutely bananas over the OLED. I'm just like, this is the Vita, 2021 edition. That's cool. So I got a little amusement out of that. But if y'all are able to pre-order and y'all want it, power to you. But I will not be paying $350. My little Switch is gonna be right where it is.
Facts. Now I don't know. Now, since you've been in the industry, Chris, I do have to ask this before I go to PK. Doesn't it feel to you that there's still a little bit of animosity between Sony and Nintendo, or I should say PlayStation headquarters? Because I mean, that's exactly what this is the Vita but the Vita was what, 1080p, 1440p, something like that. So
yeah, and it was it's 10 years. Just trying to work out. I'm having a look out when the last time the Vita was sold. Isn't it 10 years on or something?
Yeah.
9.
Yeah. It's a weird one. Obviously, there's two big Japanese companies going toe to toe, and always been going toe to toe for some time. I think it's one of those where I think you think from the parents' perspective. So obviously, if you've got kids who want a console and they want kind of a Switch, or they want an Xbox, or they want a PlayStation, or whatever it may be, and if you've got parents who are kind of money conscious, so and it's for me the name's really weird. If parents go in and say I want a Switch, and you're then in the hands of the shop worker to turn around and kind of explain which one you want. But if they don't, and turn around and go, oh, we've got the whatever it is, the 179 or 180 Lite, or we've got this Switch OLED for 350, or whatever the price difference is. A money conscious parent's just going to go, oh, I'll have the 180 one. They're not going to kind of necessarily sit there and go, oh, I'll have the the OLED because the screen's much better, and it is a much better screen. But it's just an odd naming convention for me, and that's one of the that's I think like Dragon was saying before, if it's kind of the Switch XL or the Switch, it's just got a slightly catchy name or a different tagline onto the back of it. But I just wonder how many parents are just going to walk away with kind of a Lite because it's it's cheaper. So it's a weird one. And I'm certainly not kind of I want it to be a Switch Pro because I want kind of 4K gaming and this, that, the other. But the thing which bothers me most about the Switch is, I get kind of the Nintendo games and they look amazing. Nintendo are kind of masters at the craft and making things look and feel and be super smooth. But you've still got drop frames on Zelda and things like that, and then you have kind of Nintendo's state of play thing that they did around E3, and they turned around and were kind of oh, and we've got Strange Brigade coming, and it's well, I played that on Xbox, but it was in Game Pass, and actually I bought it before Game Pass, but it was in Game Pass.
Me too.
And it's it's smooth, it's higher res, and it just no offense to the Switch is what it is, but it just looked garbage. It was kind of low frame rate, it was kind of low polys and stuff, and I think what type of is that all the kind of Switch game is good for? A kind of lower performing version of a game. And obviously we were talking about kind of Doom before the start, and it's kind of you don't buy a Switch to play Doom, but if the Switch is your only console, then you play like a really awful version of games. And I think that's for me why I would like them to look at a pro, and it's not necessarily for them to kind of push the boundaries to 4K or any of this stuff, but just make that thing kind of run smooth and let people experience really nice games. It doesn't matter if they're 1080p or they push it up to 1440 or what, whatever it may be, but just let people experience kind of a smooth gameplay and a smooth gaming experience without it kind of dropping frames or being so kind of downgraded that it just becomes a really kind of poor version. Because I think every gamer deserves to play something at the best fidelity possible, but it doesn't have to be 4K. It just gives us kind of smooth frames, and I think that's what it's lacking.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. No, I've said this too. I did a video talking about it, saying, look, I don't ever see Nintendo jumping into the 4K realm until way after everything else is because they're cost efficient. They're frugal. Nintendo is very frugal. They're not trying to spend extra money to do certain things. It's just like that's the reason why you don't see, which I would think would be genius, but you don't see Hulu or Netflix or Disney Plus or Discovery Plus. I'm just naming all the stuff my wife watches. So and add those to the Switch, because just imagine if you could have that on the go, especially with the new with this new OLED screen, that would be perfect. But they don't want to spend that type of money for those type of apps, which is bonkers to me. So I don't know. It's really crazy. But I got to get to PK and get his thoughts about this because he might have a different perspective. I don't know. What do you think, PK? Are you going to get it? I know that you're a Nintendo fan. You're tried and true. Is this worth the $350? You always got to give him a minute.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
All right.
There you go.
Sorry. So first, to answer your question,
yes, sir.
It depends. I just bought a Switch recently, as a gift. So, I had this conversation before.
Did you buy many games? Because that's probably the best
Absolutely.
gift ever. How many games did you get them?
3.
Ooh.
He got 2 Lego games and Mario Rabbids.
Woo! Oh, okay. So that they were on sale. They were on sale, right?
No.
Oh,
No.
Oh.
Nope, there wasn't no sale.
Lord have mercy. Okay.
But that's besides the point. So will I buy it? I don't really need it. Originally when I bought my Switch, my last job, I traveled 40% of the time. I mean, all over the country, sometimes in different countries, right? So I wanted to take something to go. But what I realized was when I got to my hotel, I just went to sleep anyway. I I only played it while I was on the plane. So it didn't really bring as much value as I anticipated. Far as I called this on a couple episodes of GRG, I said that this next Switch currently that they're going to bring out is definitely not going to be a new system.
You did say that.
Are they
pro
working
version.
on a new system? Yeah. Yes. They are working on a new one. This is just what they typically do, right? What you got Game Boy, then you got Game Boy Light, then you got Game Boy Color, then you got Game Boy Advance, and they keep doing that and keep squeezing the reiterations, because there's one thing Nintendo does that no one else can do, and that is sell consoles based off of their games. People will literally go buy a Switch for one game. They might never play it again, but they will buy it for that one game. Pokemon proved that. The last Pokemon game was the worst Pokemon game of all time, and that's coming from a Pokemon fan. Yet it sold the most. And Pokemon is the most selling franchise in video game history, period. And that's every single media that they put out, period.
I hope you've seen that gameplay of me putting hands on Bruce Lee, though.
Okay, you ain't gonna keep being disrespectful to the legend, right? So, but anyways, for show,
okay,
it proves that people will buy games they want to play. Nintendo has not been about the cutting edge and trying to sell you the graphical edge of the conversation. They're about selling you an experience. And if you don't believe me, look at all their controllers. When's the first and last time they ever had a controller that was the same?
You know what? That is a great point.
You never lied about that.
No, they are.
You ain't never lied.
They are about changing their controllers, and that's the one thing that amazes me about Nintendo fans. Like, look, I'm a Nintendo fan because of what they've done from the past, but I'm not. It's not the first option for me like it was back in the NES days. But you're right.
But that is my
They have to
point,
change.
right?
Yeah.
That is my point. My point is they are selling an experience. And if that's for you, that's cool. But if it ain't, then it is what it is. And no, you don't buy a Switch. You don't go from your Xbox to go buy a Switch to play Doom. That's crazy. Because you know going in that it's inferior hardware and it's not going to play as well. That is backwards. If you already own an Xbox, PlayStation, PC, that makes no sense. You buy a Nintendo system primarily to play Nintendo games. At the end of the day, you're only going to be able to play them on that system. Period. Not third party, first party. Can you buy third party? Yes, I got Mega Man 11. I got Dynasty Warriors. I got a lot of games that play gorgeous. I mean, I can name them. I mean, you could go from Dragon Quest, Persona 5. We can go on and on that don't exist on other consoles, but they are on the Switch and play well. Let me tell you, before the Xbox One era ended, the Switch had more 60 frame locked games than the Xbox One. So let's stop talking about drop frames when we can't even get locked 60 on the Xbox One.
Oh, that man's coming with some slander. All right, come on.
Now, as far as how Nintendo goes, again, they're one company that does something that nobody else can do, and that's put out something that everybody feels like they have to have. Now, that doesn't mean it's for you, but it has been a best-selling console in the last 6 months, and that's facts. You can go look that up.
No, you just say it's for you. Because that's what you're telling us. You're being
for everyone.
Nintendo, please hire this man. He is a true loyal spokesman for the Nintendo brand.
KMEGA knows this to be true. I have 5 Xboxes in the house, 2 Switches, 2 VRs, 2 gaming PCs, and a PlayStation 4.
Right.
I own all of the consoles.
Holy shit.
Quadruple, right? So I play them all. I have access to everything. I do like gaming in general, but I hate the missing conception of it has to be graphical. When I'm on PC and playing Dead Cells, is that graphical? Is Dragon Quest graphical? Hell, is that? I mean, we could go on and on. Is Persona one of my favorite games of last generation? Is that graphically intensive? No, it's not. But it's amazing, and it doesn't have to be. Overwatch is not graphically intensive. Yeah, it won Game of the Year twice in a row. Let's stop this noise about what it has to be. Every system should not be the same. I bought my PlayStation not because it's an Xbox. I bought it because it's a PlayStation and it plays games that I can't play somewhere else. And that is the ultimate point. I don't have to play Doom on my PlayStation. I have a PC and an Xbox. I got access to it. So it makes no sense for me to think about how all this is. Yes, if Switch is your only console and that's the only choice you got. I talked to my friend today who happens to only have a Switch as a console, and he does only play Doom. But he said, hey, in my opinion, and he's a PC guy, Doom should be played only with a mouse and keyboard because it's FPS. But that's his opinion. But he knew going in, buying a Switch, what he was getting. It's the same thing about your phones. You buy an iPhone, you know you can't customize it like you can on Android. That doesn't mean it's bad, but you know going in what you're getting. It's just what it is. At the end of the day, we know that they're just going to do a reiteration until they can't anymore. And then all I'm saying is at the end of the day, they will bring out another system because it is what it is. It's eventuality. But think about it. The Vita was far superior Nintendo's DS in every shape and form, yet they fail to beat the Nintendo in the handheld market. Did they not?
Correct.
Hey man,
Why
Rain
is
Rain
that?
in the chat says PK is prepping for Nintendo Treehouse 2022. Man, pay this man, get this man that
Hey,
give
hey,
him
shout out to Ray, you my
man,
guy, and
give
I'm
it to
cool with
him.
that. But I'm just saying,
Give
for
him man,
show,
pay that man.
they did not try to compete with Sony with the tech because
Man, give him
they
that bread,
couldn't.
Nintendo. That man is
Nintendo,
loyal.
Sony threw out the tech and showed them what they had up their sleeves. The problem is the games defeated them. At the end of the day, it always happens. How many other handhelds met the defeat of Nintendo's handheld platform? Every single one. There's not a one alive. And every time they try, they get destroyed. Not because it's a better technical console. No, it's because the games and the experience that people want is on that platform only. That is why. It has nothing to do with technical power or any of that stuff. That's why they stay in their lane. They're not trying to compete with Sony and Microsoft. They can't. They can't afford to be doing that. Do they need to do better with their system? Of course. Who wouldn't want them to do better? Everybody would want them. But until somebody can actually compete in their lane and threaten them, they're not going to. They're going to stick to their what works for them and continue to go down that lane. So until somebody steps up and threatens that money in that pocket and actually be competitive in that lane that they're competing in, it's not going to happen. And I mean, look what happened to the Xbox. It made a complete turnaround to what a beast of a consumer friendly ecosystem that it is today. It would have never been that way if this somewhat succeeded from the last gen of how Don Matrix set that up.
Shout out to Don.
Shout out to Donnie D out there.
Shout out
Donnie
to
D,
Don,
ladies and
bro.
gentlemen. Donnie D out there, man. I'm about
Yeah,
to
you got-
almost send Xbox to Hades, boy. It was almost over.
And all I'm saying is we're talking about
It
a
was
Switch OLED.
almost over.
We're talking about a Switch OLED at 350. Well, what
Right.
about this PlayStation revision, huh?
Uh-oh. Now PlayStation gonna get this stamp. I was hoping that you. I guess does not need to hear this. What is going on? This is
to
beyond
crap on
me.
Nintendo for doing a OLED when most of us don't even take it nowhere when we go. And when we go on the road to game, if you got Game Pass or a Series console, you're gonna be streaming to your console anyway. I know I do.
Oh man.
I don't take my Nintendo my Switch never leaves its dock. It doesn't need to.
Mine doesn't either. I listen. I was listening to Yobi on Next Podcast. We was on Next Podcast. Shout out to my boy X448. And Yobi likes to play. It's 90%. His is undocked. And as we was just hearing, I guess, Chris, he was just saying like, look, he has the light, so you can't dock that. So
people bought that. It's a worse Switch than the original, and people still bought that. So people are still going to buy the OLED because they're going to drop something.
I just like playing games on my television. I mean, listen, games on the go is fine, but if I was on the go like a lot of people that's in business, or if their job requires them to leave, or they're just on the go a lot, that's different. But I'm not on the go like I used to be. So I mean, I'd rather play games on my television. So like I prefer the dock. So
and that's why I'm saying it depends on you. Like me right now, it doesn't make sense because I don't need it. My stuff is docked. It's the same system. I don't really feel a need to have to go get that because I don't play that on the go. I didn't even do it when I was on the go. You get what I'm saying? So for me, it doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. However, for those who either have a light and actually need a comfortable system to play on their TV, or those who don't have a Switch or thinking about it, who want to jump in and play whatever game that's interested in them or whatever, yes, they're going to spend that money because everyone spends the money on what they want. Right. No matter how expensive or how it doesn't make sense. Like I said, if somebody says they're going to go buy a GPU in this climate and it's twice as much as it should cost, then people are going to buy a Switch for $350. Okay, that is a done deal, and nothing's going to stop them.
Yeah,
So
I don't think anyone's saying. I certainly wasn't saying anything bad about Nintendo. You know, before the pandemic, I used to travel a lot with work, so the Switch was like a perfect way to kind of console on the move and stuff and staying away. But the original question was, you know, 350, is anyone going to buy it? And I think all four of us in the panel have said we're not going to buy it.
Right. So so while you spitting all this game
well, I'm
to get up
speaking
to
for me.
I
That
got
doesn't
you.
mean I might not get it for a gift for someone else who want it.
I'm not. Listen,
for me, I
if
don't
I'm going to
need
buy a gift for $300+, it will be the Xbox Series S.
we
Or
already got
if
one. They already got that. That's what I'm saying.
no, but that's
It's
what I'm
like,
saying. Like, I mean, you get so much more from Little Man, and
Right.
for 300, and I mean, and it's like with tax, you know, it's like 320. And okay, and so check this out though. Okay, so if you buy the Switch, this is my whole point with this. This is kind of like the question I was asking everybody. Is okay, so I recently just got the S. And so I got it with 2-year warranty. And it was and all that. So it was like $350, $357 or whatever, so something like that, right? So just think about this. You pay $357, and then you go and let's say that you want to get the new Switch OLED or whatever. That's $350 plus tax, not including the 2-year or the 1-year warranty. So you're paying upwards of $377 or more for something that is less than its competition. Now I get it. It's Nintendo. If you're a Nintendo fan, it's still gonna sell. Don't
you
get me
already
wrong.
own a Series S.
They're gonna get it. I get it, but
you know, and all I'm saying is,
but I'm talking about for
saying,
gifts. You said gifts, and that's the thing
yes.
for me is that okay. So I'm just going to ask the panel this question right here. Okay, so there's the $400. Let's just say that the $400 PlayStation was available, the Xbox Series S, and then the Switches. Let's throw all the Switches in there. D, which one are you going to buy for a gift for somebody out of those items?
So this is actually a really good question because that was 6 months ago. For Christmas, I actually bought my aunt a Switch Lite. And I specifically bought it because it was kind of FOMO. I could have got her the plain one, but it was pink, so I snatched it. But I'm gonna get, the Switch Lite for $199. But if it's something that's if I'm saying the number 3,
yeah, it's 300. Yeah.
If I'm seeing the number 3 and I'm trying to get a gift, I'm probably gonna get the Series S, to be honest. And anywhere I go, now that I've been on the other side of the counter in a gaming sales environment, they're going to push the S, especially if they have it. And the reason is, yes, kids want to switch and things of that nature. They want to switch it and do all the Joy-Cons and such. But as far as items per transaction, my retail folks, you're going to go with the Series S because there's a 2 in front of it. And once you inform people about, what people are doing with it, what the possibilities are, boom, that's another controller. If you're giving it to somebody that has maybe another person that games in the house. Third item is going to be a Game Pass subscription, to get the person started.
There you go.
Then because if you have the Switch, here's the other thing you got to consider. When it comes to buying these things, if you go to GameStop, I can't speak for Target, Walmart, they're just going to ring you up. I can't speak for that. But when you purchase it and when somebody comes in, they're buying it as a gift. You want that person to walk out with a complete gift. So we're talking screen protectors, cases, a game, and maybe a memory card for the Switch. Those are like 4 things I just listed. You can only play you have the Joy-Cons, but they might push more Joy-Cons. So for the complete, walk out the store and you're good to go. Sometimes people leave the cases because that's kind of personalized. So you guys think another set of Joy-Cons, that's 80. A game, that's going to be 60 plus tax. Then you got to get the warranty for 50 or 60, $70, depending if you want the 1 year, the 2 year. I'm down near 500 at this point. So with that being the case, either you're going to be like, yeah, let me get the basic one because it looks the same, and it looks the same. Or you're going to go for the Series S. You may or may not go for the PlayStation because it's at $399, but I don't know. All I know is this holiday season will be interesting. I'm thinking bundles. I'm thinking,
yeah, it's going to be
special. I don't
right.
know.
And Nintendo's going to definitely going to add a bundle with it some kind of way, which is going to it's going to be more enticing. But
I'm gonna have some special editions.
Well, hold on. Let me ask Chris. Let me ask Chris the same question though. What out of the same question that I asked D? Which one would you go? And this is a gift. This is not for you. This is a gift for somebody else. Which one would you pick?
So right now, I've already gifted. So I gifted the Switch OG when that first came out, and then I gifted the Series X when that was released.
Oh well, damn! I didn't even see the X. I didn't even say the PS5. The PS5 500 on the okay. Go ahead, Mister. Lord have mercy.
I've kind of been in that space. If it was now, and I wanted to gift something that has got access to as many kind of games as they can, and like a reasonable set of options for someone, it'd be the Series S. I think for similar reasons. I think it's 299 quid or whatever in the UK, including taxes, and you gift that with a Game Pass subscription, and you've basically sorted someone for a year or more. Give them a year of Game Pass and that console. But that's just for pure kind of gaming options for the person you gifted it to. That's not kind of being sly on the Switch or any other platform. I just think that's kind of the best deal in gaming at the moment is get someone on Game Pass Ultimate and a Series S, and then if at some point they feel that they need, the big brother or whatever, then they can pick that up themselves. But I think it's just like an unbeatable package at the moment.
Yeah, no, and that was my whole point on it, BK, was the fact that, listen, when you and like D said, it's going to be very interesting because there's going to be people that's hell bent on getting their PlayStation. There's going to be people that's hell bent to get their Switch, their Nintendo Switches, but there will be those people that and listen, I've said this years ago and I'm saying it now. The casuals have no loyalty to anyone in the gaming business. No one. They will pick whatever that is most affordable or where they feel that they can get more bang for their buck. And yes, Nintendo kids love the Nintendo and they want Nintendo. But if Xbox, if they see this Series S here that's cheaper and that can give them all these games with Game Pass and all of that, like it's almost like a no-brainer. But it is going to be interesting because Nintendo is still going to sell. It's going to blow a lot of people's minds to that. It's going to say, "Oh man, no, there's no way that this OLED's going to rake. It's going to rake. It's Nintendo, the name brand itself. It's synonymous with video gaming. Grandma, papa, mom, dad, and just the whole family. Yeah, all kids, all family members know what a Nintendo is. And let me
make one more point, and then I'll let it go. Okay. So it's the same deal, right? Mm-hmm. Kids or adults are going to get what they want. I don't care if it's an Oculus Quest at $300 or the $400 model. Right. There is a big difference. It's the same thing. It's just storage. You pay $100 more for 128 gigs more of storage. It's either one, $400 model, $300 model. Either way, it's a VR headset. Do you want it or not? That's the gift. It's the same deal. It doesn't always have to be. Is it logical on what kind of value you get with a Series S? Of course, but that's not what they want. They want Pokemon, Smash, and what have you. They don't care about that. They only want that particular thing. So people are going to get what they want and want to enjoy. I don't care if it's Oculus, Switch, Series S, or even PlayStation. I feel like there's no reason to get a PS5 right now, or even trying, especially knowing that they're going to redesign it because of how they poorly designed this one. But that doesn't mean that no one's going to try and get it. They're going to pay for whatever they feel like is necessary, what fits their gaming habits. And for me, the only thing that doesn't fit my gaming habits is currently a PS5. Outside of that, everyone's going to get what they want. So that's why there's 2 VRs in his house. That's why there's 2 Switches and possibly a third one coming. That's why there's multiple, because people want what they want and yes, there's Xboxes in here, but that might not fit their craving for right now. They might want to play Animal Crossing or whatever, right? That's just what it is. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. It will do well because it's just not going to. It's not going to do horrible, but is it going to lose steam? Yes. Because right now the best value is what you guys pointed at, is the Xbox. But does everybody understand that yet? No. Does everybody want that? Probably not. But it's getting good attention to where people are piquing their interest, like in Japan, showing that it's doing way better than previous generations of Xbox. That is a big deal. So that is a good thing. However, I'm just speaking on generally, will people buy this OLED? Of course.
Yeah, they will.
Like you said,
I
it's
agree
Nintendo.
with that.
Yeah. No. I agree with that. I agree with that. I was letting you get home, but then it was like you was about to preach again, so you could try to get that.
Nope, I'm done.
You could try to get that call from Nintendo. So you could go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? You try to be the new Reggie. I got you. Listen, I hope that happens for you, brother. It will happen. You know what I'm saying?
Reggie followed my friend yesterday. That was
listen. Yo, shout out to Reggie. Listen, man, you are the man. All right. So we're not going to be in order with these topics. So let's move on to another topic, and it's going to be the topic that I had for last, but let's make it this one. And that is Xbox Gold. And this is coming from Jeff Grubb. And from its podcast today. So I want to just go ahead and just break this down. It says Xbox Gold to be completely phased out when Xbox reaches 40 to 50 million. Now, if you guys have been following us on GRG, then you already know that we've already had a big discussion about this. My other question with this is, can Xbox do this year? And then there's also other rumors of what is slated to be coming out in 2023. I'll get to that later, but I want to get to this point first. And so, D, I'm going to get to you first on this one. All right. So we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, actually.
We did.
Yeah, we did. So do you think it's feasible for Xbox to reach that 40, 50 million between the end of this year? Now, granted, we were at the time didn't know about if Starfield was going to be coming at this time or not, but because of the games lineup that we do know about, is that enough to get Game Pass gamers to get Game Pass subscriptions to that point? Do you think it's going to happen? Could it happen?
Okay. So I definitely think it can. I think it can happen. Only because, I should say only, but a reason why I'm like, yeah, it can definitely happen is my personal experience with Game Pass. I remember, don't give me the line which E3 it was, 2016, 17, I'm not sure. But when they were like, oh, today we're introducing Game Pass, and I was just like, okay, girl, I don't know what that is, but whatever. So I kind of downplayed it a little bit because I was just like, I hear what you're saying, but this is just another y'all just throwing something in the hat just to try to get engagement. I never would have expected it would have gotten to this point where it's so just all encompassing and kind of synonymous with Xbox at this point, to be honest. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I feel like if you mention Xbox,
you mentioned Game Pass. No, I agree. No, I agree 100%.
And it's just like, okay, this is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I'm no expert. I don't know what the latest numbers are, but like I said, with this is kind of a slow time of year, in my opinion. Sure, you get pre-orders and stuff because of things being announced at E3 and everybody's digital showings, but I feel like November, December is when things are really going to ramp up. Kids are back in school, report card, like all those things are going to be taking place right around there. I think that number could get to that projected number. It may fall, a little bit shy, but I honestly feel like it's going to get there eventually. It may not be November, December of this year, but 50 million is going to get reached. There's just no doubt about it. Especially with the Xbox One still being supported, being able to use Game Pass on your PC. Literally at this point, I want to say any device that has internet that's like modern enough, latest software, I want to say you can use Game Pass on it with the exception of other consoles. So your work computer, your PC, your tablet, your phone, that is huge. And it's going to reach a lot of people who don't want a system. Now, the phasing out of gold, I'm not sure how that's going to go because the pricing right now, 3 months of Ultimate Game Pass is like 60% of a year subscription of gold. So that's kind of a big ask as far as transitioning. So I don't know if that means they're going to go to the 6-month situation, or maybe they'll just do just Game Pass in general, because I keep forgetting there's Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate. Right. So maybe that will alleviate the pricing difference, because I think gold is still like $60 a year, is it not?
Right. Well, you can go places and find gold for like $25, $30 a year.
Of course. Right. But MSRP, I think is still 60.
It's still 60, yeah.
So I think I hope they've gone back to the drawing board after, was that this year? That debacle with the price change?
Yeah. That was this year. Yeah. That's where they
long ass.
they almost risked it all. It messed it up. Everything's been going good for Xbox, and then they almost risked it all. Boy. Hey man, I gotta give him the L man just because the L man is dancing on their ass for that thought of Xbox trying to think that, you know what, everything is going so good right now, we're just gonna just throw this out here and it's gonna leave. No.
You thought.
It's Xbox. The Xbox slander is delicious all over. The media, everybody jumped on that. The PlayStation fans are just waiting for that type of slander. But go ahead, I'm sorry. That was awful.
That was dumb. Even though, like I said a couple weeks ago, by the time I got home from work, it was over.
Yeah.
But even going back and reading, so of course it was trending. Reading the tweets, I was just like, it wouldn't affect me because if you were already subscribed, it didn't affect you. It was new people, and I was like, that's not the way, y'all. Like, you can't.
Hold on for a second, Chris. If you're getting too tired, man, let me know, man. Let me know. I see.
No, it's cool.
Okay, all right. We'll try to be
chat with my man Dutch.
All right, we'll try to do another hour, and then we'll wrap it up regardless wherever we stand. Is that cool? Can you make it?
Yeah, and I'll stay on until it's done.
Okay.
No worries at all.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It was
because that man, it's what time? Let everybody know what time it is so they can feel sorry for you. They can go out there and support you, man.
3:20 a.m.
3:20 a.m. This man is a trooper. Let this man live. Go follow him. Go sub him. Go support everything this man does for 3 a.m. in the morning. You know what?
Appreciate you.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you. But go ahead, D. I'm sorry. That being said, I need to look up my coffee.
I just thought that was just. I mean, long and short of it, I thought it's kind of trash to charge people the new people that rate. Yeah. But I think it's going to get to 50. Well, so short. I think it's going to get to 50 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to phase out gold one way or the other. I don't know. what that is, what that looks like.
Well, that's
pricing looks like.
But that's the whole thing, is that they're saying that if they hit that 40-50 million threshold, it will eliminate gold. That's what they're waiting on. That's why they haven't done anything yet, and that's why I was asking the question: do you think that they'll be done this year? Could they make that?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. No,
I got off topic.
Yeah, no, but you good. You was good. You was flowing. You was flowing with it. It sounded good. I was seeing my boy in here saying, man, that my queen is over here spitting knowledge, and so you was doing your thing. So go ahead. Shout out to shout out to Master Clouds.
I don't think it's gonna be this year.
Okay.
I don't mind either way, but here's the thing: it doesn't affect me because y'all know how I'm rocking. I get my ultimate at some kind of different rate. I don't pay the full price for it. But as far as it being price friendly for other people, enticing for other people, the pricing is, my concern. But if they're saying they don't need gold at that point, Xbox right now is all about options. They're really just like, you can do A, you can do B. It's up to you, however you want to do it. So I don't think it'll happen this year.
Okay.
Eventually, maybe next. Especially, I think 2022 is jam packed.
Well, wait till I tell you what's supposed to be slated for 2023. But yeah, no, okay, that's right. Oh yeah, it's bananas. But I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna leave it at that. Chris, all right. So now it's your turn. Do you think that Xbox can achieve this by the end of 2021?
So no, I think they'll get to like 40 mil. Maybe a bit short. I think they're probably. I'm pretty sure they're over 30 at the moment. I think the last numbers were like 24 or something. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 23, 24. Yeah. So I think they must be over 30 now. I think I don't think they'll phase out gold. I agree on that thing. On that point, I don't think it'll be phased out this year. But I think obviously removing the requirement of like free to play, and obviously Halo Infinite's going to be kind of a free to play multiplayer experience, which means you don't need to pay for gold. You're going to get access to that game, and they're going to get the kind of attach rate up. I think I can see them edging towards 40 mil by the end of this year. I think the big kicker is Windows 11 and the fact that that's kind of Game Pass and gaming is so kind of ingrained into that operating system now. It looks fresh. It is an enterprise operating system, but it is launching with like a real nice gaming integration. So Game Pass is going to be on every single computer that installs that, whether you want it on there or not. And I think that's the thing which is going to massively ramp up the numbers. I think Xbox Live Gold is kind of been, I don't really know many people who look forward to those kind of Xbox Live Gold games. Yeah,
They kind of waste. They're way kind of surpassed by what Game Pass Ultimate's doing. So I can see it being phased out. I can see the kind of free to play stuff, Halo Infinite. That's kind of an indication that they're gonna phase that out. But I agree on the point of are we going to get kind of a Game Pass or a game? Is Game Pass going to be the thing which is slightly cheaper? It's there's some type of like cutback on it. Whether there's a limit on the catalog of games, or whether certain premium games don't go in there straight away, and obviously, or are they just going to turn around and say, look, Game Pass Ultimate becomes Game Pass, Live Gold's gone, and your Game Pass is $20 or something, because we've got so many kind of big bangers coming in day and date. And I think I personally wouldn't. I think I've got a load of kind of Game Pass Ultimate stacked up because I had years and years and years of gold, and it all got converted. But even if I wasn't in that situation, I think I'd happily pay $25 for what you get. If you think about all the of Disney, the Amazon Prime, Netflix, all of those subscriptions that you pay for, it'll just come out the bank, and you don't really think about it. But I think this whole kind of free to play side of things is them edging towards, what is the benefit of gold? Because as I say, I've not kind of downloaded any of those kind of live gold games for some time, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because it becomes for a certain portion of the social media, as we should say, it becomes like a bit of the kind of whipping story, isn't it? It's like, oh, look what we're getting with PlayStation Plus, and look at these games, and they're obviously forgetting what an Xbox gamer is getting on Game Pass. But it's kind of, it's always the games with gold. Or look at these. Oh, it's an old game, and it's this crap game, and so it becomes a bit of a little bit of a mini PR nightmare for them every time they kind of they announce kind of banger after banger and all this great Game Pass Ultimate news. And then you'll still get kind of Major Nelson and stuff going, where's your live gold games? And it's kind of like, what the hell is that, like 3-year-old game or this, that, the other? So it just seems mad that they kind of push it as this big, positive. But yeah, the games, with all due respect, they're just kind of old. With the exception of one every few months or something, but they're just not a patch on what you get with Game Pass Ultimate.
Right. No, I totally agree with that. I myself, I'm never going to ever turn down or dog out free games. That's just me. Like, I mean, there's games that I'm like, that I would look at and I'll see the price and I'm like, But when I see it free, I'm going to download it because, of course, we've invested into gold. Yeah. So it gets discouraging to me a little bit when I see people say, "Oh man, this is so garbage. This is trash. This is and that." Listen, they're free. You don't have to download them. It's just free games. We all know what is the motivating factor now, and that is Game Pass. That is it. But don't ever shit on free games, because you never know.
Click and add them to your library, and then
and you never know, because there's been a couple of games that I said, okay, I'm going to download it, and I'm like, let me try this little trash ass game, and the next thing you know, I'm showing it as gameplay for the next week on GRG or whatever, because it was actually really good. So yeah, that's my whole thought about it. But I totally agree with that. All right, PK, what about you, man? Can they achieve this? Can they get to that 40 to 50 million threshold before the end of 2021? Got to give them that second.
It's possible.
Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm. I believe that with them launching Windows 11, they have another event coming before that happens, because they got to do a hardware refresh. Right. So when they do that, whatever that Microsoft event before Windows 11 launch with the new hardware refresh, they're probably going to show us more Xbox news and integration with the new platform. Right. So it's definitely going to, they're definitely trying to put Game Pass front and center and make it truly integrated with the entire ecosystem. Considering that their direct storage is only going to be available in Windows 11 and a lot of other new features, they're definitely looking to push forward their agenda. So yeah, I think it's possible. I mean, before 2021, was it like 15, and then in February was like 20. So you kind of do a scale and think that direction, and yeah, it's definitely possible.
All right. Quick, short, to the point. I think personally for myself, it's not going to be possible right now. It is. They'll be closer to, because I think right now I do agree with Chris that they're closer to 30 than what they were just a couple of months ago when we found out they were like 23, 24 million. I just think that if Starfield was going to be included with what we were knowing we were coming to get with Halo and also with Forza, I say there's a no-brainer. There is no brainer. Or if you didn't add Starfield and Battlefield 2024, Battlefield 2042 would be added to Game Pass, then yeah, no question. I think that it would already be it'd probably be over 50 by that point, because what you have is you have Halo, then you got Forza, and then you got Battlefield, and then Back 4 Blood, and whatever else that they might have available coming at the end of the year that's going to be on Game Pass. Yeah, no, it would be a no-brainer at that point.
I think they have very good analytics that kind of see trends, right? So, just like anything, you kind of watch patterns, and it looks like, especially around the holiday, they will have a huge pickup around that time if they can maintain some sort of hardware around then they definitely going to have a huge pickup around then. So I don't doubt what you're saying. However, I would say that the analytics is driving this prediction, and it may be spot on, it may be over estimating. But at the same time, I think it's a very good and fair prediction with the analytics. If you see the drive, like I said, if it went from 15 to 20 just the beginning of the year, and maybe closer to 30 now, it's very possible. We still got 6 months left. It's very possible.
It is possible. I mean, it is achievable, and our boy Still Rain, he said that it would hit that 40, 50 threshold. So, shout out to him. We will see. It's very interesting. But yeah, at that point, even analysts that's been checking on this and talking about the mind share, they said if Xbox sold over 30 million, then right there, if they sold over 30 million, that they can discontinue games with gold. And if they get over that to like 40, 50 million, then they will control the mind share by far, because there's nothing. And that's when I was saying to other people out there, like, look, Xbox doesn't have to sell the most consoles to win the mind share this go around. And if they add Game Pass to these new televisions, I think a lot of people are forgetting about xCloud and how significant that can be, because that's still playing games on the go. So there is, I don't think that there's no, that it's not going to happen, because I think they'll definitely hit 40 within the year. I would say within, like, from here to next year to 2022, I just don't know if they can hit that 40 to 50 by the end of this year. But Halo is another animal, as our boy 108 Dragon said earlier. So let me go ahead and read some of these games before we go to the next topic that is supposed to be slated to come out in 2023, or that is currently slated to come out in 2023. Perfect Dark, Avowed, Fable, Contraband, In Exile's next game, The Coalition's next game, and Forza Motorsport and Starfield will be Starfield and on top of the fact that in 2022, Starfield, Redfall, and Forza Motorsport will all come out next year. I don't even listen. I don't know what Sony has up their sleeve. I don't know. But in 2022, Sony could win the year because of their titles. Because I mean, you got Solar Side that's going to be coming. I don't think a lot of people know about that. That game looks fantastic. They're going to have God of War. They're going to have Horizon Forbidden West. Those are slobber knockers for Sony. But in 2023, what is Sony going to have to compete against the return of Fable, return of Perfect Dark, and then if they drop a Vow too, and then you got Contraband, and then the In Exile game, and then Coalition's next game? Like, I don't see all of that coming in 2023. Something's got to be pushed to 2024. But man, Xbox from here on to the point to when we start seeing a scent drop in the flight simulator. It is go time. It is really go time. So I don't know. Do you guys have anything you want to say about this before we move on to the next topic?
I just want to interject real fast.
Yeah, my girl over here like, damn.
So I just want to interject real fast. Not looking at 2023.
Right.
That boy thick. I'm not looking at that.
That boy thick in 2023. That girl thick. You can say that boy, I'll say that girl. That girl thick in 2023. God damn.
One thing that I just want to interject, just to kind of plant the seed and food for thought.
Mm-hmm.
This is not okay. We all know about the chip shortage. Ain't no chips. It's hard to get these devices. What is happening as far as these numbers? So I feel like we're all in agreement on the panel this evening that 50 is a high ass number.
That's a high number.
It's a high number, but again, feasible. This is what, honestly, again, I doubted when they were talking about the cloud. I was like, don't make him about the cloud. What the hell? Take what PK was saying. When he was traveling and such, he thought he would use his Switch more. Not shading the Switch. That's just literally the device he was talking about. Just imagine, like, you have an office job, right? That's super chill. You can start up Halo on your break or whatever the hell you're doing, turn it off. Now you're on the subway or the bus, whip your phone out, you can continue exactly where you were. Then you're off of whatever subway, train, what have you. You put your phone away, whatever, you're getting off. By the time you get home, you boot either your system or your PC, and exactly where you left off is right there. That by itself is madness. And I don't think it's ever been done without the actual console being utilized. And that's something that I think is going to really propel it. If we were currently in 2022, I would say yes, 50 is it. But what we're seeing right now is a huge shift in the industry, which, Nintendo's always done something different. That's just their thing. You expect things to be different. But the big boys with Sony and Microsoft, it's been the same. You buy a console, you buy the game, and you play it. Right now, we're seeing one of them do something different. Sony's still doing their thing. They're still killing it with first-party exclusives. Make no mistake. But as time is going on, if this chip shortage doesn't get rectified, if this storage issue doesn't get rectified, I feel like the hype, which is warranted, I'm just saying, the hype of next gen, specifically on PlayStation, kind of shot itself in the foot, because if you don't have the system, you can't play, which is why we're seeing more titles go to PS4. Just something to keep in mind as things are, progressing. Just looking at where things are going and getting these numbers up, because I feel like once the games start dropping on both sides is when it's really going to get crazy. That's when the competition is really going to ramp up. And I'm going to grab my popcorn because it's going to be lit.
Woo! Shout out to my boy, Sir X, man. He says, what up, GRG, listening on the way home from work. Listen, that just tells me that the super chat works, ladies and gentlemen. And also, if you aren't a member of the GRG podcast or of this channel, please go ahead and do that, man. If you've been coming here and listening to us, you know what I'm saying? I will talk about, I'm going to give a big tribute and shout out for GRG for our 200th episode and beyond for the next couple of weeks or so. I will definitely talk about that at the end of the show. Thank you guys. Go ahead and do that, man. Show the support, man, because it definitely helps for future stuff that's going on, man. Y'all think, a lot of people think that this little cash, this little money that we get goes back in our pockets and we can just sit there and we can ball out. No, that shit goes back into what we do so we can try to make ourselves look more presentable, have better graphics on certain things and learn and process and things like that. So it's a business and I treat it as such. So yeah, but thank you so much, Sir X, man. I really do appreciate it. Okay. So Anybody else have anything to say about this game's lineup? I definitely agree with. Listen, just the thought alone to think about if you have those games coming, Avowed, Perfect Dark, and Fable, just those three. And listen, nobody ain't said and listen, they didn't even say Hellblade. We don't know if Hellblade is going to come out in 2022 or 2023. If Hellblade comes out in 2023, on top of Fable and Perfect Dark, man, come on, stop it. 23, I don't care what PlayStation drops, because they can't drop another God of War. They can't drop another Horizon. They can't drop another I mean, the only thing that I don't know. That's what I'm asking you guys. Chris, help me out, man. What games, if they drop just those three titles, Fable, Hellblade 2, I'll say 4, Avowed, and Perfect Dark, what could PlayStation drop to compete with that in 2023?
Well, we don't know, do we? Because they're never transparent enough.
They're not. But I'm just saying. But just going back to the past, what could they drop? I mean, a remake. I can see a remaster of like maybe Dragon Lagoon or let's see. No, Gran Turismo is not going to do that. No, Gran Turismo is not the same. Gran Turismo doesn't get the love. Like, I love Gran Turismo, but it's not. Forza is taking over now. Forza is the king of racers right now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Could they? I think you're right though, because obviously, God of War drops next year. Horizon. So I don't think. I'm not sure Horizon's gonna make it this year. I think they would have announced a date for it, and I think so I think that's gonna drop. It's a weird one, because they could start looking in the back catalogue, and I've always said that I think Sony need to kind of I think the PS5 and next gen is perfect for Sony to release a new Wipeout.
Be great.
That's obviously not,
be great.
Not
that's a game that you. Well, no, I loved Wipeout. Okay, hold on. Who was the person who decided to make the music in that game? Because that game had me buy the Prodigy album. I loved Wipeout so much. Did you know who made the music for Wipeout?
So when Psygnosis kind of first made the first Wipeout, so I joined after. Like, Wipeout was the whole reason why I got into kind of Psygnosis and Sony. But what Psygnosis had is they had like a really good set of kind of licensees and people who worked on kind of music and stuff. So and the original kind of look and feel of Wipeout was working with like an agency called Designers Republic, and they were the guys that came up with the kind of art style for a lot of the kind of team logos and stuff, and
this
very kind of cool graphic design element over everything. And obviously the music and stuff came with that, and then Wipeout was super cool. That was being used in films like Hackers and all kinds of stuff like that.
Such ahead of its time. I loved Wipeout. One of my favorite PlayStation games to this day. I love Wipeout.
And it's one of those weird titles where kind of, so we were working just before I kind of left Sony or Liverpool studio that was ex Psygnosis and was obviously working on kind of the latter Wipeouts. So we were working on like different Wipeout concepts, and it was almost kind of like Sony had kind of changed tact a little bit, and obviously some of these like bigger titles were kind of smashing it, and Sony always kind of look at what is selling outside of the business. So they start looking at kind of like what Call of Duty is doing and what all of these other games that started to kind of sell ludicrous amounts and pushing loads of units and stuff, and then they always try to kind of like chase. There's a bit of chase going on where they want to try and like recreate that, and Wipeout was kind of had a cult following and was really kind of popular amongst Wipeout fans, and then people would kind of experience Wipeout to go, for the first time and realize that, how good it was and things like that. But Sony kind of lost faith in it a bit because it never pushed the numbers that a God of War or, an Uncharted or something like that would push, of course. Right. But I think for next gen, and what's the essence of Wipeout, and, its speed and those kind of neon visuals and so on and so forth. You can imagine kind of HDR and insane frame rates and stuff. I think now is the perfect time to kind of bring Wipeout back, and a lot of kind of the original developers and stuff, work in various other development studios. One of them being Lucid, who made Destruction All Stars, and I kind of feel for them a bit in that regard because I mean. It looks great and it's smooth and stuff like that, but it's not. It was never going to be like a console seller, and I think Sony kind of started to realize that, and that's why it became like a free to play game. You got it with your PS Plus subscription, but it's a really talented studio, and I don't think those guys should necessarily just be measured on that not being the success that it should have been for the studio that have made it. But those guys could easily turn the hand back to Wipeout, start working on that again, and I think it'd just be a perfect title. So unless they're kind of brewing something up like that, and I haven't heard anything on Wipeout at the moment. I think it's hard. They're gonna have to kind of look at the back catalogue, and there's been rumours of like SOCOM coming back, and a couple of those kind of older titles which were great. I used to love SOCOM and things like that. So you can imagine that being reimagined. But I think you're right. It's going to be hard to then cope with what Xbox is going to do. Xbox want to release. I think it was Miles Dompier was saying, Xbox are looking to release like a big banger every month or every other month. When they ramp all these studios up. Yeah. How do you compete with that? And it's okay, Herman coming out and saying, we're working on 20 odd titles, and some are indies, and some are this, that, the other. But I know it's one of the topics to cover. But there was elements of state of play which weren't great. Apart from, for me, Deathloop, which is I like that from day one, but. Ironically, it's an Xbox studio, right?
It's not that to me is what it all boils down to. Like, look, I feel that if PlayStation would get like they have a treasure trove of so many great titles. I mean, I know that I would never see a Toshinden again. That's fine. I mean, I'll live with that. But Wipeout, Twisted Metal. Like, I mean, you can't go back to David Jaffe and ask him to work on another one. And then what do you think? Man, because Sony is looking for online games. Twisted Metal is one of the most perfect reasons to bring that game back at this time for Sony to have those type of online experiences on top of Wipeout, SOCOM, and I'm just like if they decided that they wanted to try to bring back Killzone or Resistance and add something more to it. I know that there's so many great titles that Sony has that they can do that. Like if they wanted to even bring back Motorsport, I would be like, do it. But again, I totally agree with you. And
I think the weird thing is like they've dropped like a lot of those. So obviously. It would be difficult for them to. Well, it's not impossible, but it'd be difficult for them to bring Drive Club back because obviously they binned off Evolution Studios, which became Cheshire Studios, which is now which was then owned by Codemasters and now owned by EA. So all of that kind of talent and the pool's gone. Yeah, Sony are going to retain the intellectual property and the engines and stuff like that. But you've lost a lot of talent that could reboot Drive Club. You've lost a lot of talent that they were the former MotorStorm devs, so you've lost that talent and that expertise of the MotorStorm dev. You've lost like the Wipeout guys, and obviously before that we were doing F1, so you can't even use that studio to kind of reboot a MotorStorm or something with the driving background and capabilities. So there's a lot of strange kind of not necessarily mistakes, but a lot of strange decisions that they made, where Sony kind of put all their eggs in kind of London studio when at the time of kind of the Getaway and stuff. So would Sony kind of reboot a Getaway type game? I'm not sure they would. Well, they may. I'm not sure they would because of GTA. And I think if Grand Theft Auto Online wasn't as huge as it was, and the fact that they could just reboot that game over and over again and people still buy it because of the online element, then yeah, they may say, actually, we'll release something in the middle of like the next game. We'll release something in the middle of GTA 6 or whatever. But online has just got that player base, so the people who want that kind of open world GTA game have got GTA Online, and then if people want something a bit different, they've got Red Dead Online. So are Sony brave enough to kind of go against that? So they're in a bit of a tricky situation where they've got the kind of Uncharted devs, they've got the God of War, they've got Insomniac who I absolutely love those guys.
Sucker Punch is I think is
Sucker Punch. Yeah.
Sucker Punch is, to me right now, is in the same predicament as for Xbox is Ninja Theory. A lot of people they respect them, they think that they're doing, but I think that they're both, for each company, is their dark horse. I think Ninja Theory is overall going to probably be that studio overall that's going to shock and awe more people than what 343 or what Compulsion or what everybody else will do. Just like I think just what Sucker Punch did with Ghost of Tsushima, I think that they'll do for Sony as well.
Yeah, I think Ninja Theory are going to be the ones that go that with Project Mara, and obviously you got Hellblade. I think given the attention to detail, and I remember it was like last year, I think, when Ninja Theory did this a little bit of a deep dive into how they were kind of building the environment for Project Mara and the kind of levels of detail they were going to make materials look like materials, and they've obviously recreated this kind of their offices, I think it is, and an apartment and stuff like that. I think they're going to be the studio that people are going to see something and just go like, oh my god, for something that looks kind of realistic or photorealistic or utilized texture in the same way that the press kind of gushed over like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, the texture detail, or Ratchet, Insomniac use incredible kind of materials and those materials and textures and stuff look realistic and crisp when you get close to them and stuff. I think you're right. Ninja Theory are going to be that studio that are going to produce a level of detail and fidelity that makes people go, right, this is next gen. And I think, as you say, Sucker Punch, with their next title, what they're going to do will be the other big hitters. But it's going to be difficult for them because they've lost a lot of internal studios that could kind of deliver these things. So they're now looking outside, and they're using people like Lucid and other third party developers to kind of fill these gaps or make these games. It's hard for them, and because that kind of Bethesda pickup, as well as all the other studios that Xbox have just created a ludicrous ability to kind of release huge internal first party titles month after month, or every quarter, every 3, whatever it is they want to do, that release schedule. And we're not even thinking about what third parties deals Xbox are going to be doing, and yet Sony are going to have third parties and they're going to have their kind of deals, but it's going to be tricky for them.
It's going to be tricky. Like, I mean, if you think about it, Sony has so much to offer, but it's like you said, can they or will they spend the money to bring some of their beloved classics back, that what brought so many people like me and others that were diehard Sony fans at that time to just be fully invested more than Xbox or what Nintendo's doing? And I don't know. All right, so I just want to try to get two more topics out of here, but let me read these super chats out here, man. Your boy Wandering Dutch, man, thank you so much for coming by and stopping by. He says get Chris a coffee, push that like button. Oh, no doubt, man. Get that man some coffee, some Benadryl, all types of, because that man gonna be hurting when he try to get up late, probably in the afternoon tomorrow. Sir X Man in the chat, he says there's only one game that's Twisted Metal. Look, man, Twisted Metal was life for me, man. I love Twisted Metal. Our boy Dirk Griggity, man, thank you so much. He says, what up, GRG? Thank you so much, man. Big shout out to you and what you're doing over there with your podcast over there, man. Shout out to We Bleed Green. And then Sir X-Man in the chat, he says, how about a new Colony Wars or Assault Rigs? I mean, look, that'd be great. I do have to read this for future generations. And he's saying this, where he says, Fable, Hellblade 2, Perfect Dark, Indiana Jones, Avowed, Elder Scrolls 6, Forza Motorsport, State of Decay 3, Coalition's game, Compulsion's game, Contraband. Did I miss anything? Yeah, you missed NXL's game. Listen, people better stop sleeping on that studio as well. If you have not played, and see, that's a damn shame, because I'm over here
Plague Tale Innocence.
No. The NXL,
oh, sorry.
The game that I've been capping for months, and I can't even think about it right now. I can't even think of the name right now. Oh my goodness, it's the top-down RPG. So good.
Hold on. Wasteland.
Wasteland. Thank you.
Yeah.
Golly, that's bad. People better stop sleeping on that, because because I beat that game and I'm finna jump into their extended stuff, and then on top of that, like this is supposed to be like a AAA game. Like this isn't going to be looking like what you see from Wasteland. This is going to be like a big time futuristic, punk. Yeah. What is that? The future punk style, kind of like like steampunk future style, like what you see with cyberpunk. Like, man, with their storytelling and what they can do with a budget. Man, y'all better watch out for that. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff coming. It's going to be beating people over across the head. Thank you. Master Clown says, he says Wasteland is no joke. Yeah, got a new respect. Thank you, man. I beat that. Listen, I'm gonna just tell y'all my ending, so y'all know that I'm not frauding the public, because I couldn't think of the name. What my ending is that I took my people back to Arizona to give the food that was the whole reason why they needed to go. And so they went back, and then they did, and so I made them do that, and then everything was fine. Colorado was still cool, but I wanted to stay a little bit because I thought that I could really set a precedent out there in Colorado. But there's so many different endings that you can do within the game by the choices that you make. Like it was just great. But that's what I did. My whole mission was to take care of Arizona, and so that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? Because I also played Wasteland 2. So but that's just me. I think that game is absolutely phenomenal for just what it is. It's not a crazy big budget game, but it was great for what they did with it. All right, so two more topics, and then we're gonna get out of here, guys. All right, so PK, I'm gonna come to you first on this. I ain't forgot about you, brother. So let's talk about state of play. So PK, what did you think about state of play?
It was okay. Just showed some games.
Come on, man. Now, I know that there were some games that would make you say, look, I'm finna buy me a PlayStation 5.
No, there's no games like that.
Come on, man.
But I am excited for Deathloop and Sifu.
Sifu looked amazing.
But not enough to buy a PlayStation 5. I can wait for that. And whatever comes on PS4, hey, it's still sitting there. I ain't worried. But there's nothing to make me feel like I got PS5. Remember, I just built me a gaming rig. There's nothing to PS5.
So you telling me that you would rather spend $350 on a Nintendo Switch OLED than buying a PlayStation 5 from after watching State of Play? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Low key.
Telling you that there are games on a Switch that I'd rather play than anything on a PS5. And if you look at my hours, for a fact that's true on every game on a Switch. And that includes on Xbox. Remember, I put up 67 days of PSO. You don't remember that?
But that's added to everything that you played within PSO.
Everything
Come on,
played.
Man.
There's nothing.
That's
on
all
the
PSO. That's not the PSO that just came out. That's the new Genesis. That's PSO overall. So yeah, you killed me in those numbers. But you still gotta. But I still haven't seen those Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance stats though. I ain't seen those.
I don't like that game. Be honest with you.
Okay, so you don't like that game, but don't compare me. Don't show me something that you've been playing for years.
I just wanted to call you out just to
be messy.
It's only been in America for a year. Come on, man. Let's not do that.
What? No.
I tell you what.
PSO2's been out for years.
I tell you what. We just got Space Jam for free because we have Game Pass, right?
Okay. Yeah, I'll beat the story. All right.
I 1,000 at 1,000 that game one day.
Yeah, you could, but I beat the story. I got to think about like 600 points, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm not a achievement whore. I don't go after like that. I got to it. I beat the robot dude, and I got done.
You gotta use right pronouns. I'm not that either. I am a equal opportunist. I'm an equal opportunist. I'm on Steam. I do it everywhere.
Me too. I do it everywhere. Well. Everywhere.
But at the end of the day, there's nothing that says I need to go and kill myself for a PS5 right now. I mean, I still got a PS4. Right.
So what was the games from State of Play? Yeah, what was the games from State of Play?
Deathloop is. Okay. I've been.
That's an Xbox game. I don't want to hear about Deathloop.
Well, that's what's on State of Play. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm being messy.
Jesus Christ.
We get towards the end of the show. You know how I do.
Okay, so I have been excited for that game since the beginning, mainly because it has a black and brown character, two black and brown characters as leads, and that really excites me. Yeah. I am always down for the cause whenever there's a minority lead in the game. Shout out to Forsaken that the PlayStation showed earlier from Square. So that is going to be dope. And it does have a minority lead in it as well. So Deathloop it seems like it's going to be a fun game. Seafood just looks like a fun game. However, I'm starting to question as good as it looks like it's fun. I'm trying to figure out what kind of game this is. Is this really a beat 'em up, or is this more like a you gotta win this or start over kind of situation?
With a beat 'em up element? Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like that's what I was like.
I was wondering.
That's a good shout though.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I think it looks great. I'm not really into the what is it? Was it Arms or one with the rabbit
or something?
Fist. Yeah, there it goes. I was like, I'm not really digging that as much, and I do like platformers and beat 'em ups and everything, but I just don't like the aesthetics of the characters and how it fits. But I'll still give it a shot. Just see what happens. They didn't show the game I'm really interested in, and it's that forget what's got Koi or something. What is it called? It was they showed it the last State of Play.
And I'm just gonna try and find now because my brain's not working.
It started with a K, I think, but I can't remember.
What was the game about?
It's hard to explain, but it looks amazing.
Okay.
It looks amazing. It's my kind of game. I love platformers, beat 'em ups, fighters, FPS, things like that. I'm not really into I won't say I won't try them, like Western style RPGs, because I will. I just don't like all of them. I prefer the JRPGs, and that's just preference really. But outside of that, I will try them. I won't say I hate them or anything. And I won't say that every JRPG is everything either, but it's just kind of a preference.
You kind of did though. That's how I took it. But that's okay. Okay, all right.
I mean, there's Western style RPGs I do like. What are you talking about?
I'm just giving you hell. Don't worry about it. But
You always giving me. And look at the chat giving me hell. It's okay. I love you guys out there. You guys
man. I
can
mean,
give.
you know what I'm saying? You good.
Y'all can definitely give me the smoke. I'm cool with that because it's Friday and I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah,
so
unless you want to get their head beating Guilty Gear again like you did last week.
First of all, you ain't beat me, okay?
Wait, hold on. What? I didn't do what?
You heard me.
No, I heard you. But hold on, wait a minute. How did that end up? How did it end up to where PK is as smooth and calm and composed at this moment, but when we were playing, there was cussing, fussing, and because you couldn't stop what I was doing. Yeah, we were training, but you couldn't beat me. You had it. You thought you had something, and then you came to it. Come on, man.
Let me tell you something.
Come on, man.
We can do this, and I will stream it and record it, and whatever you want to do.
Fight Night Sundays, I will make sure
I sent you a message so you can get these hands right now.
Oh, you talk about it in Smash? Yeah, you whoop my ass in Smash. You got way more experience in Smash. Soul Calibur, I've improved. But you know what? I don't see you in Tekken. I don't see you now. I think Guilty Gear is now my game because the way that I thrashed you. I mean, listen, bro.
You're a beginner, sir.
Okay, am I a beginner? Okay.
Yes.
I did save those numbers. I think overall, like the matches that I won and you won, it was like 58 to like 28. What are we talking about? And listen, you can take a 20 out of that because we was taking, you know, we was practicing. I was trying to learn my character because you wanted to learn how to fight that character. And then you was trying to figure out how to beat that character. But then what happened? You was like, this character is spammy. This character is this. No, and then you got out of element, and it felt good.
I was teaching you
because I felt bad.
The game,
oh man,
relax. Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's a difference between teaching you and fighting me.
All right. Okay. So let's get on to the next person because obviously you don't want to talk about the truth, and all I just want to know is that Fight Night Sunday. Listen, I could go ahead and I could get blessed in the Smash Brothers. I have no problem with it. I have no problem with that because I'm not a Smash Brothers fighter, but I will learn, I will adjust. But Guilty Gear, I think I got you. And listen. Anything else, I think it's up in the air now. Even Soul Calibur. So I'm just saying.
I can't wait.
I know you ain't gonna never play me in Tekken, so Mortal Kombat 11. The last time I played you in Mortal Kombat 11, you got thrashed. You got beaten deliciously. I just
started playing the game. Period.
Okay, so that's cool. So when I say I just started playing Smash Brothers, you don't give me that same type of love. So it's all good.
You have Smash Brothers for almost a year now, bro. What are you talking about?
I did, and I've been practicing, so I know that I'm better than what I was when we played the last time. So,
that's good. That means
when I beat Tarzan, I knew then that my level is better than what it was when I was getting my head beat in at that time. But anyway, Chris Gamble is like, listen, y'all shut y'all's asses up. Can we get through this so we can get done so I can go to bed? All right,
that's
Chris.
Our brother squabble, man. That's how
I know. He knows. I listen to his podcast. I listen to what they talk. They have a good time with it. So Chris, state of play. What was your thoughts about it? The good, the bad, the ugly.
So I'm just gonna say, I think that game was a Kena Bridge of Spirits. You were trying to.
That's it right there. That's that game.
Oh, Kena. Oh yeah, Kena. Yeah. Kena looks fantastic. Yeah, but that's coming to Xbox though.
Well, I'm getting on PC, but the point is, it's gonna be amazing.
You ain't gonna get on the Switch? Come on now. They okay. Well, I don't know if it's gonna come to the Switch, but I'm just saying.
So I think
I'm sorry, Kena is not a PlayStation only game.
It's timed.
Oh,
but it's simultaneous for PC and PlayStation.
Yeah, it's like August 24th or something this year.
Yes. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the day before my birthday. August 25th is my birthday. If anybody feels the need to, they say, look, you know,
this man's mic off. Shut this
KMEGA is a nice guy. I love his channel. I love what he's doing. So I you know what? Look, and he's talked good about PlayStation tonight. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and just, if y'all want to do that for me, then please do. Pass that on. Okay, go ahead.
Oh,
sorry, Chris.
I didn't know that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I'm the same, really. So I like the look of that Sifu. My only concern is there was a little bit of small print, and it said like camera angles were. It said something like camera angles are not kind of reminiscent of what the game angles are like. So my worry is is the normal kind of gameplay camera actually make that game look worse than it is, because it looks awesome with those kind of cinematic cameras, and I think there's a little tiny bit of a clip where it almost looks like a kind of Saints Row type game where you're like third person behind the character, and I just wonder how that kind of feels when I think when they've shown it first hand, it almost kind of seemed like this cool kind of ebb and flow type game where you were like moving from one fight to another. And I think if it had this kind of cool top down or cinematic cameras, I think that would have been like a really nice style. But then there was just a little few seconds of what looked like a normal kind of indoors third person kind of action game, and that worries me slightly because it didn't look as polished.
You see what I'm saying? You're saying a similar thing. Like something is weird here. It just seems off. It looks great, but it's like there's something else going on that they're not showing, right? That's what it seemed like to me.
And I think it may just fall foul to one of those. It's one of those games that kind of doesn't look its best in the view that you play it, but maybe the combat looks good. So if the combat's kind of really tight and works nicely, then I think it could be good. But yeah, it doesn't. I'm always a bit worried when they say they're kind of using a cinematic camera or a non-in-game camera, because you just think, well, are you embarrassed? Does it not look as good? Does it not kind of get its style across or something? So that's the only slight question mark I've got, but absolutely want to play that game. I think obviously I'm the same. As soon as I saw Deathloop, it was something that I wanted to play, but it's obviously I like Arcane stuff with Prey and Dishonored and things like that. So that just looks like an awesome game. But yeah, we get it on PC and Xbox next year or whatever. I think it's timed exclusive to September 2022 or something. It said, I think. But other than that, I think the biggest takeaway is like every other game was kind of PS4, and it just brings me back to kind of Jim's like "we believe in generations" comment, and the kind of the flip flop has been.
It's getting late
like,
for this man.
ridiculous.
This man being messy. Oh, come on now. Go ahead.
It ain't mess. It's true.
No, he's being honest.
And and that's kind of like my worry is we see like a lot of kind of PS5 diehards and stuff are kind of starving for content, and part of that is like Sony need to be a bit more transparent, but it's just something that they've never done, and I don't think they'll change in that. I think they like to be quite elusive and secretive, and people kind of churn the rumor mill for them, and then that gives them a bit of kind of like PR and time to release other stuff. But it's kind of like Death Stranding director's cut, and then the standard director's cut doesn't come with all the extras. You have to buy the deluxe version of the
Lord have
director's
mercy.
cut.
I can't wait to get into that.
Oh man, director's cut. If it doesn't come with all the stuff,
it's just bizarre.
and at the same time, what is everything? I mean, honestly, what I
think
played
everything is what you got with the PC version, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I was like,
So
this game doesn't really have nothing in it anyway.
Well, okay, so this is the thing that I was arguing with somebody that was trying to tell me, well, it's only $10. It's only $10 extra to transfer it to PlayStation 5. And I'm like, okay, look, I get that, but I've already bought the deluxe version of Death Stranding. And so you're telling me now that I got to pay $10 and I mean $10 more. So that's that, I mean, I don't, why do I have to pay extra for me buying the biggest version to support that game, even though I wasn't even a fan of the game? I just bought it because I was just like, you know what? I got a PlayStation. I want to eventually stream it and experience it for myself to see if it's to see where I am at with the game. But I bought the deluxe edition. So why do I have to spend more money on that? And people tend to try to, because they know how bad that the Ghost of Tsushima situation is, that they're trying to get the win off of what Death Stranding is. And I still feel like I'm getting slighted. I don't know. Chris, how do you feel about this?
I just think it's like the transparency stuff again. And yeah, you've got, I believe, and I need to triple check it just in case I'm wrong. And obviously, if I am, someone correct me. But I'm sure it's the Director's Cut Deluxe Edition is literally all the content that the PC players got. So it's kind of, and I think it's like $49 or something for the deluxe edition. But you've got like a £10 upgrade, but it gives you like a racing mode and something. But if you want kind of all the extra bits, it's another like $50 game or something, and it's just a bizarre kind of upgrade path. It's like really, it really kind of irks me that. And I'm not one of these people who says, if you create a remaster or this, that, the other, if a development studio's put a lot of hard work into kind of improve textures or they've added, some extra bits and bobs in, I haven't got a problem kind of paying for a remaster. I'm not saying every remaster or whatnot.
Is it a remaster?
Free. No, I don't think it is a remaster. Sorry, but,
no, it's a.
But
yeah,
but it's
you know what? Did they add gameplay to the director's cut? Because if they ain't add gameplay, then it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, they added some
new story missions.
Hey, when Kojima said that he wasn't going to shoot, like he was talking about, like, Americans don't like pew pew. I mean, they're all about the pew pew. He's added the pew pew into the game. So
yeah, they started the Mesa gun or something like that.
But did he take out the carrying packages and ladders and crap like that all over your back?
No, all of that.
Did he take out the 10-minute shower scenes that you?
No. Yeah, like he's done it. Like a Jack Snyder and done this like supercut or whatever. No, I think it's got.
Is it a regular game now, or is it what am I paying for here? Why do you want me to rebuy this game? What is going on here?
It has expanded content.
Yeah.
Could you not like to be 100%?
What is considered expanded though? They need to define that. You know what? PlayStation need to put lots of little descriptions in their advertisement, because I don't know.
Well, that's what it's all about. Like, they changed remaster to Director's Cut. That is their new.
Oh, okay, got you.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I think it's like new story. Sorry.
Oh, it is. Okay, it says remastered for the PS5 console. The expanded content.
How you gonna remaster a game that's what, a year?
Sir.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hold on, sir. And a side note, they did that with The Last of Us between 2013 and 2014. The expanded content, it says, experience an extended storyline through new missions in an expanded area. Make use of additional weapons and vehicles. Take on new enemy types. And explore new locations such as the firing range and the racetrack, featuring extra missions and minigames. That is the PlayStation.com description.
That sounds like it's worth the money. Can't wait.
Sir. Listen, you know I like to emphasize. That is the actual description. It has the PS5 features. It has the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers.
That what trips me out more than anything, right there. Hold on. Listen. Okay, now, all right. I kind of just want to skip state of play. Okay, listen. It is what it is. It's great.
Hey.
I want to just want to get to the last part of this topic, because my man needs to go to bed. But I gotta say this. I gotta go on a baby rant. I'll be very brief. Listen, for any PlayStation fan that's capping to tell me, for those haptic triggers on that PlayStation 5 console. What's why we gotta pay for this. This is why we gotta pay for the extra money for this, because the developers work so hard. Hold on, wait a minute. I thought my hard-earned money that I earned to pay that $500 was for me so I can play these games with the haptic triggers. Why do I gotta pay extra for that? That's what's tripping me up. That to me is such a slap in the face to me. It's like, and if Xbox come and try to say, oh yeah, because we got these new type of controllers, they feel great, they feel good, yeah. But because we put the blue supersonic or the blue Sonic or the yellow Tails or the Knuckles red version on these controllers, this is why you got to pay this additional $10 in order to see what the true power is of the Xbox Series X. I'm going to be saying to Xbox, you go straight to hell. I'm going to be playing my games on PC or somewhere else. No, listen, why do I have to pay $10 when I've already paid $500 for your console to get that? Why are you telling me that a game that should be
premium fee, sir? That's the only way you feel
that's
like.
This
greatness has been awaiting. Okay?
No.
Greatness has been awaiting.
No, brother, no.
Oh, hell no.
No, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. But anyway, that's my little quick rant on that. I found it to be egregious. Listen, I'd rather Sony just say, look, man, we just want this extra bread. We just want you to pay this extra bread so we can do what we need to do.
That's
they are in so many ways.
Then I'm like, I know, but I'd rather Sony just come out and just say it like a champion. Because you know what? Because you know what the PlayStation fan base would say? Listen, Sony's so confident,
makes you a better
and
gamer.
they know that, you paying this extra money makes you a better gamer. And they will fly with that because that's what it is. And Sony got that clout to do it. Hey, man, Friendly Blue Shell, my boy Friendly Blue Shell, thank you so much. He says Sony for the payers. Absolutely. I am disgusted when I see something about The Witcher 3 that's going to be adding extra DLC, and I understand that CD Projekt Red is in a precarious situation because they have to try to save face because of what they did with Cyberpunk for the older consoles. I get that, but with The Witcher 3, which, listen, beloved, won Game of the Year awards and everything like that, they're giving out their content for free. That's what you expect from somebody. Listen, if Sony was 2K games doing this like they do with Grand Theft Auto or NBA 2K or something like that, I get it. But
they
right
do that with GTA. Are you kidding me?
That's what I'm saying. If Sony was 2K games, I get it. And people hate 2K games, but Sony's doing the same thing as 2K games, but those people don't hate Sony or going out and trying to tell people that Sony is out here disrespecting your hard-earned dollars for the $500 plus that you spent, or maybe if you was one of the lucky ones that got the $400 version, that your haptic triggers shouldn't be included with with the version of an old game that came out last gen? Are you kidding me? Okay. Like I said,
didn't they do that with the Vita and sell a console without a memory card and tell people they had to buy a memory card to play to even just play the game, not even save, just play the game? You need a memory card, those memory cards were three times as much as a typical SD card would cost.
You're right.
They were ridiculously expensive.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so let's get off of State of Play. I'm sorry for anybody that skipped. Let's just get to the last topic so we can get out of here. Okay, so
or State of Play.
State of Play. I thought. Listen, there were some games that I would definitely play on State of Play. Trials of Midgar. I thought that was a cool premise. I seen it at E3. 10-player co-op. I mean, that sounds amazing. The game looks fun. That's what it's all about, is having fun. I would definitely play that. Deathloop looks cool, but I can wait until next year for that. Kena, I'm surprised Kena was not shown. I don't know why. Maybe because of the rumors of Sony's going to be having an event coming up here pretty soon. So we'll get a chance to see more of that. That game looks absolutely fantastic. But everything else that they shown from Sifu on it, those games look great. I'm not into VR. I don't care about the eye herpes machine. I you know what I'm saying? For people who love the eye herpes machine, great. I commend you. I'm not paying that much money for a peripheral that I'm only going to probably use once or twice in my
What peripheral? You talking about the PSVR from the PS4 area, or are you talking about the new one?
Either one.
Because
either one.
The people who bought the old one is pretty upset.
Right.
Old one don't play on the new console.
But either one. But at least that they showed that there was some new games coming for PSVR. But and then there was this one game that really looked dope, but also that's a game that reminds me of something that's on PC that's called Necropoint or something like that, I believe. Hold on, let me look right fast to see if I can find it in my thing, because I'm looking right here. Can't find it right now, but it's I think it's released on. It might not be released for PC yet, but it's still the same premise where it's a fighter that has battle royale-esque tactics to it, and I think that game was something Legends that looked pretty cool. I thought that but that's going to be free to play for PSN gamers, which I got it on. You know what I'm saying? I still got my PlayStation 4, so I'm going to definitely download that and play that. That looks awesome. But other than that, no, there wasn't any games that I seen that screamed I need to buy a PlayStation 5, but there were games that I wanted to play. So last topic, I gotta talk about Assassin's Creed. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys this question before. So on the last topic, okay, I think the Assassin's Creed topic is important, but it might not. There's also a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for the last 2 weeks, which is talking about, and this is coming from my brother, Fame2K, about Hive Busters and how people haven't played that game. So I'm going to ask the panel, which one would you rather talk about? The Hive Busters situation or Assassin's Creed Affinity? So I'm going to start with you.
Creed.
Assassin's Creed. No. Assassin's Creed for you. What about you, Chris? Which one, Assassin's Creed or Hive Busters?
Yeah, I'll speak about Assassin's Creed.
Okay, all right. PK. I mean, it really kind of doesn't matter, but go ahead. Where you
at? It doesn't matter.
No, it matters. It matters because
you heard that.
It matters. Well, because it's 2-1. I'm the host. I can't make the decision. Which one would you rather talk about?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, which one would you want to talk about? Let's just put it that way. Which one would you rather talk about? PK.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. Now you go throw that at me. I feel bad now. My feelings are hurt. All right. So, Assassin's Creed Affinity. All right.
I mean,
what's
no matter. It's cool.
Did you want to talk about? Well, we'll talk about it next week for sure. I'm definitely going to bring that up because I think it's important to find out why there were so many people that didn't play that game from what his article was saying from Level 1 Gaming. So shout out to my boy Fame2K. So I will make that as probably the first topic for next week. But Assassin's Creed Infinity. I was getting people pissed off at me because I was saying that this could be a fantastic thing for Assassin's Creed. I thought, like, look, don't judge this game before the game comes out. Ubisoft is really good at doing co-op multiplayer games. Let them do their work and let's see what's going to come out before you start complaining and bitching. So I'm going to go to UPK on this one first. What do you think? I mean, are you a little nervous about the strategy or what they're going to do with Assassin's Creed Infinite? Is it or Affinity where they're basically going to try to turn it into a service online game where they're going to be adding content over time, kind of like what they do with Destiny, what Halo's going to be doing with Infinite, things like that?
I don't think I'm nervous. I mean,
or are you skeptical? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's more or less they're just doing the trial and error thing and see how it plays out. I don't know. I don't even know how it looks. I mean, Ubisoft's done a lot of different hit and miss titles, so it just depends. It all depends. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and sometimes it's bad starting out, and then they make it good, like Division, right? So,
Well, Division 1 was amazing. It just didn't have enough content, so that's what I
well,
think that hurt that.
well, the thing is, it it didn't start off as good as it ended, I would say.
Yeah.
And and sometimes they have hits, right? Some really cool games. Sometimes they have misses, like what was that, Hyperscape or whatever, So I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Do they put the A team on this one, or is this more like a Fallout 76 situation? I don't know. We'll just have to see. I'm not gonna say will it replace Assassin's Creed. I think that's the misconception. I don't think it's gonna replace. I think it's more like something else to have that they're working on.
Okay. All right. What about you, Chris? What is your initial thoughts about this? I mean, are you even a Assassin's Creed fan, for one? And is this something that you think that Ubisoft is smart for them to move forward, or is this something that you think that's gonna hurt the franchise overall?
I think obviously I never like to discount a game before we've even seen it or it's been released.
Right,
So
right.
I saw like a lot of polls out there, and people were kind of like hate the idea, and it was kind of universally received in a negative way. But for me, it's kind of there are elements of Assassin's Creed games being a bit of a live service game with like in the sense that kind of like your screenshots are shared and people see them around the map and stuff like that, and then obviously the content that they kind of like release. But I think Ubisoft have kind of turned around, haven't they? A good few months back or even last year, and said that they wanted to move more to these kind of games as a service. So you look at Rainbow Six and the way they've kind of like moved that on and how successful that's been. So you can see why they're moving in that direction. And I think if we're getting kind of like an Assassin's Creed every year, which we have been doing, then it could just be an easier way for them to kind of manage that. So they release an engine or a service which is kind of universally contains the meat of what it needs to contain, and then they can release these kind of they could have released like a Viking setting, Roman, this, that, the other, and all kind of drive it from like the Animus, and have their kind of GTA Online if that's what they're trying to achieve. I'm not sure whether we don't fully know whether this means it's going to be a kind of living world where everyone can kind of run around and almost kind of like interfere in each other's stories in different instances in a as I say, in like a GTA or a Red Dead way, or is it game as a service, just allowing people to be in kind of a universe? There may be a bit of a hub, a bit like Ghost Recon or The Division, and then actually you go off and do stuff on your own or in a co-op manner. So I'm not sure we should kind of kill the idea before we see what it's going to be. And I think they've got the two kind of Assassin's Creed studios working together on it. So I think they've got, is it kind of Montreal and someone else working on it?
Yeah, there's two different studios. I can't think of the other one. Yeah, but it was the same thing that they did with Division 2, I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
So they've got two big, they've got two of the big studios. They've got loads of talent working on it, and yeah, is it a way of them bundling and getting us access back to kind of Victorian times and the kind of like Black Flag and the pirate stuff, and it just could be a nice way to kind of drop in and try different content without them saying, right, you need to download Valhalla, then you need to buy this game, and you need to buy Unity and so on and so forth. So it may just be a clever way and an easy way for players to kind of digest Assassin's Creed as a service. But to me, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're all going to be kind of running around in the same instance and affecting each other's story and stuff. There may be a bit of that, but yeah, I think a lot of people, react negatively to change a bit too quickly before even seeing what it's all about, really.
And I totally agree with that. Big shout out to Curie. Listen, okay, now I think this. What is this? What is this that I buy? Ciroc versus Special Blend. I think it's cognac brandy. So I think it's starting to hit me. So now I got to get ready to start the show. Anyway, she says Montreal and Quebec City. So those are the two that worked on other titles as well. So it's going to be great. And Master Clowns, thank you so much. He says this show was awesome. He says over 320 views on Twitter last he checked. Oh yeah, well that's fantastic. Thank you so much for everybody coming checking out the GRG podcast, especially with everybody else that's out there as well. Shout out to them who has their podcast as well. But GRG is here to stay. It's not going anywhere, and I love the fact that people come to visit, and there's a lot of people that listen to us afterwards because of our time schedule, but it is what it is. So, D, your thoughts on this situation with Assassin's Creed? Is it something that you think that is a good idea that they're doing going forward, or is it something that you have pause for because you like the way that Assassin's Creed has been structured so far for what they've been doing in the past?
I'm going to preface this by saying I've been an Assassin's Creed fan since 2008. Mm-hmm. And I regret to inform you, I'm going to be that person y'all are talking about. And the reason
she one of those. Oh.
And it's so
let me get my girl with the blades. Go ahead.
I'm not sitting here like, oh, this is going to suck. It's going to be trash, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying that. My problem is, personally, I'm not saying, just personally, Ubisoft has been extremely disappointing as of late for me personally. They, like I said, they released an Assassin's Creed game every year from 2009 to 2015. They took a break in 2016 because sales for Syndicate were such shite. And then they rebooted it, whatever you want to call it, for 2017. And I thought things were going well. Like, okay, y'all redid it. Y'all got some RPG. But then Odyssey came the very next year. And then they took another break, I want to say. They took a break in 2019. And then Valhalla came out. And it's just... me personally, I don't want to say I'm not a fan of the series anymore, but I'm no longer a consumer of the series anymore. The reason why I say that is because it felt, Odyssey felt copy and pasted to me. It was huge. They pretty much took out cutscenes from Origins to Odyssey. There wasn't a huge jump. I was seeing promotional stuff for Odyssey, and I mistook it for Origins. Because Origins has Greek-style architecture in it. It just didn't warrant that $60, that $200 for the collector's edition. Valhalla, they were like, yo, we're going to make everything be lighter. We're not going to make it as big. We're not going to make it as bloated. And now they're like, hey, this is the first time we're supporting an Assassin's Creed game for its second year in a row. And I took pause and I was like, why are you proud that this is the first time you're supporting your game for a year after its release? So that kind of rubbed me wrong. But they're adding more shit to Valhalla, and I'm like, of course, at a price. It's just like I don't know. I don't know. They said they listened to their fans as far as we don't want another game with collectibles and viewpoint, like all these things you have to do. And they were like, okay, well, we're gonna make Valhalla smaller, but now they're adding to it. So if you want the entire game, you have to pay and it's bigger than Odyssey was after they said it wasn't going to be as big. So I don't know honestly what's going on over there, because they're like, oh, we're listening to you guys and we're taking your feedback and all this stuff. If that's the case, where the hell is Splinter Cell? Where's Rayman?
Yeah.
Where the hell is Beyond Good and Evil 2? If you're listening to your people, where are those things people are asking for? So Chris brought up a good point where Rainbow Six Siege is being supported. That game came out in 2015. Not a problem with the game having a life, but are they trying to go for a Red Dead situation? Are they trying to go for a Grand Theft Online situation, a big world? And nothing's wrong with a game being supported. But Rainbow Six Siege and Grand Theft, well, just call it Rockstar. Rockstar online games, to me, genre-wise, have nothing in common, which is fine. You might shoot, but, there's not... The format is different, but the only thing those two, things have in common is money. I feel like since 2014, when Destiny came out, everybody wants their hand in the pie of this live service. We continually support it. Whether it's Destiny, whether it's Anthem, Fallout 76, everybody wants their hand in the pie of this continual. We do a battle pass, we do a season pass. You pay us continually after you pay the entry fee of $60. I don't know if anybody else has played Assassin's Creed on the panel as much as I have, but Assassin's Creed is very story driven.
I have.
Sure.
I'm a late adopter, but I have. But go ahead, continue.
And that's
please.
that's totally fine. You have sequences.
Yeah.
You have cut scenes. When they did Odyssey and Valhalla, and it was just like choice of dialogue, I was like, how can it be story if I can shoot? I don't know. It just struck me really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it's gonna be trash. I'm just taking major pause. And after I did buy Immortals, but that I had to put down because there was just so much stuff to do. Then my dumbass bought Watch Dogs Legion at full price. Quickest uninstall I've ever had in my life. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on over there.
You didn't like Watch Dogs Legions?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, that's fine. I bought it, but I haven't played it thoroughly. I only just played like the first 30 minutes, and that was it.
I'm gonna tell you like this. Watch Dogs Legion, the Watch Dog franchise, reminds me of Saints Row, and the reason why I equate it to that is because, like Watch Dogs 2 and Saints Row, the only people who have told me personally that they like the third entry did not play the second one at length. So when people are like, "Oh, I love Watch Dogs Legion," did you play the second one? No. Same thing with Saints Row 2. The only people that are like, "Yo, I love Saints Row 3 and 4," they did not play 2.
2 was good.
2 was the pinnacle. I keep telling people that.
Yeah, 2 was really good.
2 was the pinnacle of that game.
Thank you.
Yeah. I thought that whole crew with Rich and all them were great. Like they all worked together.
It was terrible because THQ had to go bankrupt, but they had something going there.
Oh, you talking about with Saints Row?
Saints.
When Saints Row 2 came out, they only had one competitor, and that was GTA 4, which was trash, by the way.
I wasn't a fan of GTA 4 either. I agree with PK with that. I won't call it trash, but it just wasn't my thing.
No missions, and
go ahead.
And then every time I'm in the middle of a mission, I keep getting phone calls by a man to tell me I need to take him out to go bowling or take him out to eat in the middle of a mission. And then on top of that, this is called Grand Theft Auto. So every time I steal a car, it gets stolen back. I can't keep a car. Hey, what is this? Every time I change the clothes, it looks the same, except for it's a different shade of brown. What is this?
Right.
You didn't go to Manhattan. Get your money up. That's all right.
I did.
So did you do the Pretty Tony?
I did all of that.
I didn't do the Pretty Tony. I stopped. I was like, I'm done. I can't
the comedian from my city, Cat Williams, was special guest on that, and it still was trash. I'm sorry. It was. But Saints Row, however, had a multiplayer that was matchmaking
and
co-op,
right?
With story co-op
and co-op, co-op through the story, and just it wasn't. It had a serious story. However, it had silly things you could do, which made it different, right? You could customize the color of your socks. Like it was just crazy.
Yeah.
What you could do, like when you customize your cars and your everything was sitting outside of your base, wherever your base was. That's it was dope. Like it was just something other, and it was sad that THQ had to go under because they had something special there. Because when they went to 3, I'm not gonna say 3 was horrible, but it is never going to be like it was in part 1 and 2, and 2 being the pinnacle. But I agree with you, G. I do sense the similar thing in Watch Dogs Legions, but however, I still feel like Saints Row 2 did it better. But what I did not like about Watch Dogs Legion, even though I did play it to the end, beat it and everything, and even though it has glitch achievements, that's why I ain't got them all, is I prefer the one protagonist. I don't like the switching in between the characters. I feel like if they were going to do that, it should be something like how State of Decay do it, where you can level your character's stats up as you play with them and things like that. But it's not like that, and that's what took away from the game. Like me personally, I like the protagonist from the second game, Retro, more than the first game. And I own all the games, to be honest with you. I'm just saying.
I thought Vice City was a better game than than GTA 4, in my opinion. That's just
GTA 4 was the worst out of all of them. That's how I perceive it. But they did make a turnaround 5. But the point is, you're right. I see that similarity there. However, they didn't capture the same magic. Because
they didn't.
What did you do when you travel across the city? You got to hop on a drone to fly every daggone place, and then when you
all right, we're talking about sir. We're talking about Assassin's Creed. We gotta let this man go to bed. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm sorry.
Got you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So,
okay. Sorry.
Assassin's Creed. Thank you. No. I mean, regular GRG. I mean, this is what we do. I mean, I listen. I listened to somebody yesterday. Our boy Mojo Blues. He said, "Listen, GRG don't really get revved up until after the 2-hour mark." He says, "I love when y'all go three, almost 4 hours of podcast, but we're not doing that tonight. So we got to wrap it up, man. Our man got to go to bed, man. He got.
I do agree with what everyone was saying. Though.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh, okay. So what was your favorite GTA, Chris?
Vice City was my favorite GTA.
Yes. Now I love 5, but I haven't beat 5, so I haven't beat the 5 story. Yeah. I need to beat
so
5.
5 was great. Vice City is just has a special place in my heart with the music and the vibe, and obviously like Ray Liotta and stuff. It was just awesome. But I too was like a big Saints Row fan. Like all of them, and I think it was kind of. The OGs and 2 and stuff it was just like a unique take on the kind of seriousness that GTA was trying to be, but like the story and everything was just spot on. The over the top kind of combat and as you were saying, customizing your characters, your clothes, your cars, and all the colors and stuff like that. So I'd love to see like the original come back if it ever did. But yeah, it's like all good things that you enjoyed disappeared.
Voice actors, I think. Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David was that. Yeah. He was the main dude in Saints Row. Yeah. Keith David was the main dude. Yeah, like he was the leader of the pack. No. Saints Row was amazing. I was like, oh yeah. After I played 4 and then I played Saints Row 2, I said, oh yeah, Grand Theft Auto was in trouble. But then, things just happened. But okay. All right. So I'm going to say this, and then I want to see if anybody got to say anything else from after what I'm saying about this, and then we can end it at that. But my opinion is this. I see so much potential with this because like I was telling D and everyone else, I'm a late adopter to the older Assassin's Creeds. I didn't really start getting into the Assassin's Creeds until I played Syndicate. I thought Syndicate was cool. I played the first Assassin's Creed way back when my homeboy got it, and my ADD couldn't take it. It was the most boring, most repetitive, just absolutely just a pitiful thing I've ever played, in my opinion. And I never played any more Assassin's Creeds until Syndicate. So that tells you the bigger the gap is. And the only reason why I played it because I seen Syndicate on PC for sale for like three or $4. I did buy Unity because it was on sale. And then, but I didn't play it because I seen all of the backlash about how broken it was and things like that. I was like, well, okay, well, forget that. And so I played Syndicate. Syndicate wasn't bad, and I was like, okay, you know what? I can. It's got a flow. It's got a good adventure. I can dig this. But then the newer versions of Assassin's Creed came out with Bayek, which was Origins, and then Odyssey, and then I bought Valhalla. I haven't got into Valhalla yet. I'm going. That's one of the games I want to beat before the end of the year, before I start going into my online spree with Battlefield and Halo, and Back for Blood. So that's definitely on the list. I just fell in love with the Assassin's Creed franchise, so I went back and so I played Unity after I seen that they did an Xbox patch with it, and I loved it. I thought the story was absolutely fantastic. I even played the online mode. And that right there was the thing that made me look at this as like, oh yeah, there's a lot of potential here, because I've caught a couple of random people. It was 4 of us. We made a decision to go. It was it was a French lady that was a real woman. And what you had to do is you had to save her from these people who had her. And so we went in here. I wasn't talking to anybody, and then somebody just came on the mic and says, "Look, I got a strategy. If y'all want to listen, pick up the mic." So I picked up the mic, and he was like, "Okay, you guys go do this. You other guys help me follow, and then take out the rest of these. We sneak in and take out these guards. If the alarm sets off, or if we set off anything, then you guys kill the people before they come inside." That's what we did. I thought the coordination and everything was spot on, was perfect. For me to think about it from this perspective is like this. Let's say that you can create your own assassin from the ground up. If you want your assassin to be more stealth instead of more like what you see from the later Assassin's Creeds, like with Bayek in them, where he's just more a Witcher-esque type, where you just go in and you can just kick people's ass and just take out a whole colony or whatever. Then if you got that option to pick that player, I think that would be beneficial, as well as if you could pick a player that's like Bayek and like Cassandra and so forth. If you can do that to where you can create your character to your likeness, I think that holds a lot of weight. This is why Destiny is as important as it is because there's so many people that's invested into that game because of the characters that they create from scratch, and then they build upon them. Just think if they do that and then they add those characters within this universe, and they do it. And I don't know how many of you guys on this panel has played For Honor and what they've done with the For Honor online. It is night and day compared to what they did at the beginning to what they do now. It is fantastic. And it's within the story mode, and it's amazing. It is For Honor is awesome. It's awesome. So I can see it being done. And then my last point on this is that I think that if they go this route, they could also, and I got to give a shout out to Predator because he said the same thing because we had the same idea, is that they now would be probably ready to make a single player experience push for Prince of Persia, and then put Assassin's Creed into this category with the rest of the online type of games. I don't know, but I think that would be smart. What do you guys think?
Oh, damn. That was my same position. I just want you to kind of I just want to note what you just said about For Honor and Unity. Mm-hmm. You said in the beginning it wasn't together, but now it works. My problem with that is whenever this game comes out, while they don't have their shit together, they're still charging full price. That's my problem. Like Unity, I'm grateful. I didn't have the same issues that everybody else did, but I paid full price for that game. And if my game wasn't working properly for the single player, I would have been pissed. For Honor, when it first came out, wasn't working properly, and people paid full price for it. And it's just like, I'm glad y'all got y'all shit together, but while you were doing that, there was an entry fee. You had to pay to get this game. And that's where, if you're doing a live service and it's online only, like, perfect example, look at Outriders. Unbeknownst to me, I subconsciously stopped playing that game. And if I had paid $60 for it and I couldn't even get in because it wasn't working properly, I wouldn't be pleased at all. And that's kind of what happened with me with Watch Dogs Legion. And I was just like, you know what? Till Ubisoft gets their shit together and earns my $64.79, I can't trust them with my money to get a working, polished experience. And that's kind of where I'm at with them. And the fact that, they might do a Prince of Persia, especially with their remake being delayed. Assassin's Creed came from Prince of Persia. They were doing another game, and then it spawned into this whole different thing. And it's just like, it's one of those things where if you do something well, repeatedly do it. My problem is they're doing something repeatedly, they're not doing it well. So I don't know. I'm going to be reserved. I have a lot of other stuff to play, but they're kind of on my shit list right now. No malice. No, not like with malice. I mean,
you said that like a knife in your hand, but that's cool. I got you.
Nah, they're on my shit list because I've paid for their product and I'm dissatisfied. And then they sit here on these conferences. Oh, we're listening to you. We're listening to you. We're listening to you. It's just like, are you though? Because you keep putting stuff out. I'm sure there are people it works for, and that's great. Like, I'm not mad at them. They paid for it. They're satisfied. That's great. But as an individual consumer, they're on my list, as is Rockstar's on my list, of where I'm just like, y'all got to earn my money again. I'm not about to blindly just fork over my money. Not that I was before, mind you, but I've been burned multiple times. Like, okay, it looks fine, it looks good. I get it, and it plays like trash. So it's just like, yeah, I'm a little more reserved now, unfortunately.
Okay, all right.
But that's just me.
No. I mean, listen, I respect it because for somebody, you play more Assassin's Creed games than me. I'm going backwards because because I couldn't stand them in the beginning. So I love them where they are now, and then so I'm like gradually, and then I enjoyed that. So the next game is where everybody says like Black Flag is that one. So that's the next Assassin's Creed that I'm going to jump on. Then Rogue and etc. Because I got them all. I just like, I'm in a different place now, so maybe I can appreciate them more than what I did back then. So, all right, my one last point on this, and then we're going to get out of here, is this. I understand that people want these games to come out like they normally do. But then we've had people complain and say, well, they're too annual. We don't want them to come every year. Why don't they come every other year? Okay. Then we want to have a Japan Assassin's Creed. You know what? Now, Ubisoft could have been doing this a long time ago, but that ship is sailed, and I'm going to tell you why. There's a game out there that's done Japan in a way that even Japan themselves, Japan developers themselves have said, whoa, we might need to push back and relook at how we make our games after what Ghost of Tsushima done, or Tsushima, because I say Ghost of Tsushima, let me be country or whatever, but Tsushima, however you want to say it, right? And what is it, Tsushima or is Toshima? I say Toshima. Toshima. Okay, Tsushima.
So you're wrong. It's like sushi.
Tsushima.
Tsushima. So I can't be country with this. So I got to say it right. Tsushima, right?
I mean, you can.
Well, no. Okay, so if I say Tsushima, it's right?
Close enough. Close enough.
Come on, don't. Oh my Lord. Okay, all right. So. All right. So anyway, the way that they built that story, listen, with the Mongolians and all that, absolutely damn near flawless. That should have been that was my 2020 game of the year. I didn't. Last of Us 2, whatever. Anything else? Only thing that I thought that was on the same level story wise was Wasteland 3. And maybe oh man, what's the game from Obsidian that came out with the Outer Worlds? Outer Worlds. I thought that those three game stories were absolutely immaculate. Give me that. But Ghost of Tsushima should have won Game of the Year 2020. Now, I know a lot of people are going to frown on me on this, but I haven't played Doom Eternal yet. I haven't played
you was bugging.
How am I bugging, bro? I never came out here and said I was a Bethesda dude like that. I'm not going to fault the public. I never said
it either.
But I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it. I know everybody talks about it.
If there was a game out there that make you feel like you're a badass and you're a monster,
the first Doom was great, but I've been playing other games, so I play other stuff. But yeah, I will get to it.
Makes you feel like you're a boss.
It looks amazing.
Beginning to end.
Just
you was a boss.
Come on, man. Can I just be honest?
My bad.
Yeah, you're hurting. But all I'm saying is this: if Ubisoft came out with a Japan version of Assassin's Creed, it would be compared to Ghost of Tsushima, and I would think that Sony would win that argument because what Sucker Punch has done was highly impressive, was way above like God tier when it came to making a great story. So I think this is smart for them to do it this way so they can go back from the very beginning and then just kind of reset the whole franchise. That's my opinion on it. Anybody have any objections? And then that's it. I'm not going to say anything else.
Objections.
Okay. All right. So that's my thing.
Except for the fact you ain't played that daggone game.
I'm going to play it. Like I said, I'm going to get through my single player game. Look, I'm right here. I got 44 hours in Scarlet Nexus. I got to beat this game. I'm right here. I think I'm at the
Doom
end.
is more important.
You got me crazy. I mean, Scarlet Nexus is a beast.
I know you're crazy.
Hell no. Scarlet Nexus is amazing. Scarlet Nexus is a beast.
Scarlet Nexus right now, but it's solid, but it's not amazing.
How many hours you got into it right now?
What are you talking about?
Into the story. Okay, you got 30. Oh, okay. So you should be right there where the story is. The story in about the 15th hour mark is when it kicks up and it's right because it's so all over but I don't know. Who are you playing with, the girl or the dude?
I'm gonna play with both of them.
But who are you playing with now?
The guy.
Okay, so it might be way better with the guy. Oh, Kasani pisses me off, and I was like, oh my God, I love the game's combat, but this chick is getting on my nerves. But now the story has gotten to where it needs to be. But I think I love this game. Anyway, so I do recommend Scarlet Nexus. Go get this game. Then after that, I gotta go finish Wastelands DLC. Then I got to finish Greedfall because I'm at the end of Greedfall, but I knew that they was going to add that stuff to it. So I got to finish Greedfall, and then I'll get to Doom Eternal, and then I'll get to whatever else. Bruh,
I don't understand.
Come on, man. Let me
Doom
shine.
Eternal just came out with the ultra settings on top of that. Are you kidding me, bro?
Bro,
it looks like a monster. I thought it was a monster when I played on 1X.
I know, man.
Oh my Lord.
I know. I should call me a fraud all you want to, but I ain't gonna lie to the public. I've been doing this for years, man. I'm not gonna lie to the people. But anyway, Chris Grannell, thank you so much for coming by here, man. You are free to take your ass to bed. Let everybody know where they can find you at. Thank you so much for coming by at this late hour. Let us know what time it is in your neck of the woods so we can all feel bad and all bow down to you.
It's 5:05, so the
Lord have mercy. We kept this man till 5 o'clock. The sun is coming out for this man. This man might not sleep yet.
No, it's all good. Thank you for having me. It's been awesome. I would definitely stay up till 5 o'clock again to come back to the show at some point in the future.
I would love for you to come back again, man. You was fantastic.
And so if people want to connect on Twitter, it's CJ Grannell. If people want to connect on Xbox, then it's Hard Times UK.
Mm-hmm.
And on a Wednesday, we do midweek mix-up with my brother Dutch, so Wandering Dutch and the rest of the panel. Yeah, we just chat about the week's news and what we've been playing. So, yeah, please come in and check that out as well.
No doubt, man. Thank you so much, man. It has been an honor. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things I was like, man, I was like, I don't think I'm going to get them. But then when you said I got it, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when I didn't hear from you earlier today, I was like, no. I mean, listen, I understand. When you said 2 a.m. in the morning, I was like, shit, I'm not even going to be mad if you just say, man, look, nigga, I can't do it. And I wouldn't even be mad because I totally understand that situation. Now, if it was somebody like Fonzarelli's ass that I seen in here, yeah, we're going to have a problem. So I'm going to have to hit him up in the DMs. But other than that, but no, I definitely thank you so much. The Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell says, so before you go, what is your favorite power in Scarlet Nexus that is not the fire, electric, or gravity one? Okay, so my favorite move is the stuff that you can get with the left bumper, and you can use their special abilities if you grow a bond with your crew. And there's this one with because I'm playing with Kasani, I'm playing with the girl. And so the chick that can make you kind of float around and kind of pass through time, she got a dope ass attack move where she could just jump in and kind of hack you up and then bounce you out, and then you can hit her special move, and then you're kind of floating through time, and then you can just turn on your electrical powers. But yeah, no, she is I love that move right there. It's really dope. So thank you so much, Friendly Neighborhood Blue Shell. And again, hey, if you want to be a member of the GRG podcast and on this channel, KMEGA 45, man, please go ahead and do that, man. It would be greatly appreciated, no doubt. PK, thank you, brother, man. Where can they find you at, man?
You can find me here every Friday on GRG. Tomorrow we got the Dragon's Den, and then every Thursday catch me on 4GQ TV. You never know who we got. We always have some special guests and special surprises, and definitely like having fun, like we did tonight. So definitely check us out. We definitely will be back for more topics and more fun every week.
No doubt. That was a good podcast that y'all had with the female voice actress. She was fun. I watched it. I watched it late. I didn't. I gave it a like and all that other stuff. But yeah, no, that was really fun podcast. I saw what you guys at 4 quarters. Shout out to them. And then D, what's happening, man? I mean, what's going on, man? Other than you being upset about Assassin's Creed and where the direction is going, what's going on, man? What you have popping? Where can they find you at, man?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't say I'm upset. I'm just very ambivalent toward the new idea.
Whoa, say that word again.
Ambivalent.
Okay, all right. Educate me. Educate me.
Word of the day. Ambivalence.
Word of the day, ambivalence. Woo. I'm gonna throw that up. I'm gonna throw at my wife at the wrong way. I'm gonna say, look, I was looking at that ass and I think I was ambivalent. And she's gonna say, what?
That's not. Please.
Okay, go ahead.
So you can find me on Twitter at Gigi's Mom. I'm on the GRG podcast every Friday at 9 Eastern. That's the only time zone that matters. It's 9 Eastern in America. 9 Eastern.
Stop it. Stop it. Chris will tell you something different right now. I know I will.
I said in America. I said in America. In the U.S. Easter gang. And I'm on Xbox and PlayStation, Kirby Titan, and I am on Twitch at DMarieB. So I'm there rarely, but I do stream there from time to time on both systems.
Nice, excellent. All right, so thank you guys, and listen, C-Mac, you said what fighting game is this on that screen, brother? Fight Night's about to be more fantastic than it's ever been. Because I'm finna bring these bangers out here. This is called. Hold on, let me go look at this before I start saying something crazy.
Say bangers.
Yeah, hold on. What'd you say? Fighters, man, because man, listen. I bring some of that little West Coast in me when I say fighters. It's called Million Author Arcana Blood. It's a Square Enix published game by Arcana, and so check that out, bro. Listen. This fighter is fire. It was in the Steam sale. It was only like $6. Like I bought like 12, 13 games. The Steam sale is over with, but it was like 6, 7. I was trying to tell Sir X-Man's old crusty ass to go buy some of these fighters since he's trying to talk about PC race and all that, so we can have all these fighters to be included. My boy Yobi answered the call. He said he bought all of them that I showed to him. So Fight Night's about to be ignorant. Not only we do Fight Night every Sunday night at 9 Central. I'm not waiting for anybody. I'm going to be just playing by my damn self, just being looking lonely. I just hope you guys come and check me out on Twitch, and I'll just do it until somebody comes in here and say, look, let's fight, Mega. And then we get down. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, because I missed last week because of the holiday and all that stuff, but Fight Night will be back. And then also we extend Fight Night to Wednesdays. I will be Wednesdays, so probably about 3-4 o'clock p.m. I'm about to do that. Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on. Next week is the 200th episode of GRG. I can't believe this podcast is still going. Lord have mercy. If you knew what goes on behind the scenes, y'all probably would be saying, damn, this podcast should have been dead like a long time ago. We still go strong. And next week, we bring back one of our prodigal sons, who was one of the starters, who started his podcast career at this podcast, and that is Fonz Arelli. So, man, it will be great, and I will be reaching out to everybody, even all days punk ass. I will reach out to everybody that has been a part of the GRG podcast from the past to the present, and I will reach out to every last one of them, and then we'll have a week. So hopefully, I really don't have no doubts. Fonzarelli is already going to be coming next week. Xbot's going to be coming hopefully next week. Then we'll try to look and see if we can get Delilah and Lady Infamous to be coming. 100, I'm going to reach out to him. Livewire, I'm going to reach out to All Day. I'm going to reach out to Kaleidoscope. I'm going to reach out to Triple Cup Chuck, and try to see if we can all try to get this shit pack popping one last time to celebrate the 200th episode of GRG. Not at one time, but all through the next week. And then we all go take a goddamn break because we deserve it. But other than that, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's been it's gonna be fantastic. I am looking forward to it. If you don't see some of these people that I've mentioned, then obviously it is what it is. But I am going to reach out. Hopefully they can come back. We can have a good time, talk about games, talk a little shit, and just do what we do. But anyway, thank you guys so much. God bless. And listen, if you ain't got your vaccine, ain't no time to be doing no pants off, dance off. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I got to say. I say that all the time. So listen, we got to get back. We got to get ourselves ready because there's still COVID out there, man. We got to make sure we got our shit together. But anyway, everybody have a good one. Be blessed. Did I get a shout out for PK? I think I did. Did I get a shout out for PK?
You did, I think. I don't remember. My memory shot. I'm sorry.
My memory shot is late. Anyway, and if we did, let me just say this. Oh, yeah, I think we did. And if I didn't, Nintendo's the best. I'll see y'all at Treehouse 2022, a.k.a. Reggie. New Reggie. All right, guys. Have a good one. We out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Oh.